Hello, welcome back to episode 7 of the Cooked Lobsters. We are more than thrilled to have you back here for another fantastic episode. I am your head chef in the kitchen, Ryan Weber. With me, as always, sous chef Brandon Trotter. You know, we're always cooking up some great interviews. We got an amazing guest today, nothing short of just fantastic. Sous Chef Trotter, tell us a little bit of who's coming on and what the people can expect.
I'm not trying to have candy before supper. I'm not trying to spoil it for our listeners out here. So I'll just say that our guest is coming up from Massachusetts, living on the greatest lake possible, and he's going to tell you some wild adventures and stories, past, present, and the future. So I'm excited as all hell to have him on our episode today. What about you, my guy?
I am so excited. I got a little insight on this episode. I'm not giving too much away. But Curtis has honored us with an amazing video that we are going to talk a little about.
Whoa. You don't want to be telling them, my guy.
The video. Okay. Yeah. I'm getting on the edge here, living on the edge like we always be, you know. But we're about to throw some of that butter sauce on, get that conversation going, baby.
We got to go actually foil boarding here in a minute.
Yep.
So
we got a boat to catch, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, so when we get back, we'll get cracking in with the interviews.
So y'all stay cracking. Hello and welcome back to the Cooked Lobsters interviews in the kitchen. We got a very special guest, as always, with us today.
Yep.
Our friend, a neighbor of our studio, Mr. Curtis Staub himself.
Thank you very much. It was a long commute. 10 seconds away.
10 seconds? That's a
I
long
mean, if
commute,
you
my
hustle,
guy.
If you hustle.
You hustling?
I mean, I had flip-flops on too, so
Oh,
maybe...
you don't have Crocs with like the 4-wheel drive on?
No, I'm not a Croc guy.
Ooh, that's good.
I don't wear Crocs. I have nothing against people that wear Crocs, but I'm not a Croc guy.
It's not a Croc guy?
Nope.
No, I thought you being Captain Curtis, a lot of the boat fellows and ladies do like the Crocs.
I should have worn a fucking captain's hat.
You should have worn
Next one.
Because I am
you on the next one.
All right. On the boat.
There were talks
There we
about
go.
getting a cast on the boat. You know, some weather in Maine in the summer, a lot of rain up here right now, so that might have prevented it a little bit, but no big deal. If you guys saw our last cast, or 2 casts ago now, actually, looking back, time flies, but with Gus Williams. Curtis was along with us on that expedition.
Yep.
And
yeah, that was fun.
you were able to get up on the foil board, if I remember correctly. Tell us a little bit about your experience with that.
So that was my first experience ever on a foil board. Very fun. It takes a second to get used to, like, it's almost like getting up on a wake surfboard, but then you have a whole other element of, you know, the foil. So for me, it took me a second to get used to not just the get up part, but if you don't have your weight right on the board, it just shoots you 4 feet in the air.
Fucking launch.
And I mean, you have a couple of videos of me doing basically backflips off it, because you also, if you fall, you don't want to land on the foil because it's carbon fiber and that would hurt.
Yeah, that would be painful. You want to release, kind of like mountain biking when you got to bail.
Yep.
You want to get that bike out from
So
under
I think it took 8 or 9 tries, and then at that point I was up and I just kind of survived for about 10 seconds and I called it quits. That was the dub for me for my first time ever, and I'm happy because Brandon took like 15. He never got up. So
dude, to be fair, I did legs that day. When was the last time? When was the last time you did legs?
Did legs. I don't need to do legs.
Oh my god!
Earth, the world is my legs.
Oh my god, dude! I checked on you twice today, and you were sitting on the couch.
I also organized the entire shed, and I helped you with your basement. So.
Oh yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah. Should you tell the listeners about what happened today with your freaking basement?
Yeah. So, also shout out to everyone that is in North and South Carolina. Hopefully everyone's okay for the whole tornado warnings, because that was actually pretty bad. Also in New York.
There were some in like the southern Mass today too.
Yeah, it went all the way up that way.
Yeah.
A couple of my friends from New York, they were saying like houses were destroyed, businesses were just torn apart. So Yeah.
No good.
But that weather unfortunately came up this way. Halfway through a phone call, I looked down and the basement's flooded. So I put myself in not ready and I said,
Twice.
fuck.
He left out something. This is the second time this has happened.
Oh, yeah. The first time it happened was on Christmas or the week before or the day before Christmas on overtime. And I was on the phone with my GM and my manager and I'm wearing Ugg boots. Fuck anyone that has a problem with that. Tom Brady wears Ugg boots.
You ain't Tom Brady. Let's not go there.
I don't give a shit if I'm Tom Brady. They're fucking comfy, so I don't care.
That's what they say about Crocs.
Yeah, but Ugg boots and Crocs are like too different.
I don't know. The same girls that be wearing Ugg boots be wearing Crocs.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Girls wear like more comfortable shit, and that's fucking warm. Go out west, and anyone that's any surfer wears Ugg boots. But back to what we were saying, I was on the phone with the GM and my manager. I looked down and I said, "Oh shit!" And they said, "What did you just say?" And I was like, "Oh, I gotta hang up. My basement's underwater." Hung up. Went on the other side. The whole basement was like 3 inches underwater. Then told my family, and then went downstairs and tried cleaning more of it, and it got to like, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches. And then by the time
pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
so that's more than it was.
And that was the same day that was the 50-mile, 60-mile winds here at the lake. So I didn't know any of that was happening.
A tree didn't fall.
Oh, dude, the tree fell next door.
Oh, that was when that happened?
That was the day before. Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's just been a weird, crazy occurrences. And then right when we got the sub pump to the house, the fucking power cut out. So didn't have any power. Didn't have a sub pump.
Yeah.
So had to do it all by hand.
Gotta get it out the Amish way.
Yeah, he tried to have me do it by hand, and I said, absolutely fucking not.
And then we did it.
I went out and bought my own pump.
Yeah.
Now he owns a new pump.
Oh, but shout out to my boy Austin Bushi. He literally called me during the storm.
Skeeter.
Oh, you got the skeeter.
I thought he was just giving you a good pat on the shoulder, guy.
No, I was flying around for a little bit.
I thought you were throwing a Mayweather 1-2 right there.
But I got to give him a shout out because he actually literally bilged me out. He literally drove here on that day and gave me a pump to bilge out the basement.
Wait, were you going to give him a shout out and not me for what I did today? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, I gave you a half a shout out. Yeah.
All right.
But we didn't get to that. We didn't get to that shout out.
Whoa. Moving along here.
I'll take half a shout out.
I know we've been talking a lot here about some of the gloomier days that we're having in Maine. But
yeah.
I know. Summer. What are you been up for a week or two now up in Maine? Up in your camp?
Well, this stint I've only been here for like 4 days. I was just coming from a bachelor party.
Nice.
It was like an hour away, so I figured.
Have a good time?
Yeah. I had a great time.
Nice.
It was. I mean, the first day was rain. We had actually a massive wiffle ball tournament. Ooh. You know, like 10-on-10 situation, which I hadn't played in since I was a kid. So that was a lot of fun. That. And they had a hot tub in. We won the first one. We lost the second one.
Ooh.
And they had a hot tub in the house. It was interesting. Like in the wintertime, I would hate that because I'd want it outside. But
what the fuck are you talking about?
They had like a game room and they had couch and TV, pool table, and then a hot tub.
Oh, I understand what you mean by there's a hot tub in the house. I kind of figured what that was.
I
could put 2 and 2 together.
I was just checking.
But no, but I think it would be kind of nice to have it inside during the winter though, so you never have to worry about like things getting in it or anything like that, and also that cold walk or worrying about like slipping and falling and being.
The only problem is it got too hot too quickly. Like in your hot tub and you have to like sit up on the edge when you get hot. And it feels good that you're sitting up on the edge. When you're inside,
I'm in that shit like a fucking lobster
maybe
guy.
your internal body temperature works differently than mine, but
yeah, unfortunately, I have the shower all the way hot.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Got them jets running full blast.
Oh, dude, yeah, we don't get enough sun out here in Maine. It's always never.
I mean, this summer definitely.
Yeah, this has been a little bit gloomy.
Sorry, I did interrupt you though. Were you trying to get somewhere with that other statement?
Oh, I was just gonna say, were you able to do any fun activities while you're up here? Any wakeboarding or any sailing?
I actually have only wakeboarded once this summer. Once you hit 30, I don't know for everyone else, but for me, my knee went, my ankle went, my calf went, and also I'm just terrible at rehabbing. So they're just a prolonged problem. So yeah, I wakeboarded once. I foiled that one time, and then my buddy, shout out Matt Warner, he's got a mastercraft across the lake, and he took me wake surfing. So that was fun.
Give him a shout out for sure because he went to fucking Maine, if I stand corrected.
No.
Which one went to Maine?
Denied.
Which one was it? The Woodlands?
No one went to Maine.
I thought one of them went to Maine.
Matt went out to school in Utah.
Utah?
Westminster. Yeah, I don't know anyone that went to Maine.
I thought one of them went to Maine. I thought that's what you were saying.
I mean, I'm sure there's someone from my high school that went to Maine that I know
okay.
of, but
I must have misunderstood.
I mean, I haven't talked to a bunch of high school kids. I mean, I have my solid friends of high school, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Everyone else I don't usually really talk to.
Yeah.
That's how it works in life, though, right? Just friends slowly dwindle down.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yep, absolutely.
Especially when you travel a lot, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You've been traveling quite
Agreed.
a bit the last couple of years, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I've had some time off, so I've been traveling a tiny bit, but not as. I had some time off like 3-4 years ago, and I went to Hawaii, Oregon, Utah. I went to Montana the last year. Shout out Montana. If you ever want to go anywhere, especially in the winter, if you're a ski bum, Montana is the shit. That is a fun place to go. Big Sky is a hell of a resort. I went out there with about 20 people. It was a lot of fun.
Well, that was basically diving into our next question. I was going to say, like, where do you go skiing since you're always a snowbuddy, my guy?
So besides Snowbird.
Well, first
Snowbird,
off, I believe
my
you
bad.
called him a snow bunny. And, anyone who knows what a snow
that's
bunny
a very
is,
good point. I don't know how I missed that one.
Well, you just went with it, so you must have been called that once before.
I'll go by ski bum, even though officially a ski bum would be someone who's maybe living out there and skiing way more than I actually get to ski. But I still consider myself that. Definitely not a ski bunny. Thanks for that one.
I got you back here.
Man, that would have been hilarious if you never caught him on it.
No. But yeah, so I ski at Sugarbush around here. I feel like I just want to shout out everything. Is that what people do in a podcast? You just shout out
Where's
things?
Sugarbush?
Sugarbush in Vermont.
Vermont. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I got you.
It's up in like the Green Mountains. It's right near Killington. What else? Stowe is up there. Mad River Glen.
Barry. Scary Barry, as they call it.
Yeah. But it's a sweet space. But if you're going out west, I go Snowbird, Alta, Breckenridge, and then Big Sky. Those are the only ones I want to go to. And then I think Tahoe is the next one on my trip that I want to hit. But I haven't
why
done
Tahoe?
that yet. Timmy's out there. I want to go visit Timmy
and Joey.
Yeah.
Timmy Tahoe.
Yeah,
That's 2 neighbors down.
Yeah, we got a bunch of neighbors all over the map right now.
Bunch of celebrities all up and down the coast.
Everyone's just been like, "Yo, do you just podcast your neighbors or something?"
That's
like,
basically what you're doing. Yeah.
But they're everywhere though.
Yeah, that's
we got
true.
Maryland, now we got
We're all
Mass.
friendly up
We already
here.
went to Maine.
Even though I'm technically a masshole, I live half my life in Maine, so I consider myself half masshole, half Mainer.
And we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you.
Okay. You're the official people that like knight the Mainers. Is that how this works?
Oh, you don't get knighted for shit.
Okay.
Janet Mills
Fair
has possibly given us authorization to knight you into mainhood.
Okay.
We knighted Gus into mainhood, and we'll extend the honor and knight you
okay.
into mainhood as long as this cast goes well here.
As long as I don't shit on Michigan too much, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no shitting on Michigan on this cast. I believe on many casts I've made predictions. Michigan's gonna win the national championship this year, hands down. I called it right now, August 8th, 9th, 10th. I don't know what date it is. Don't matter, but Michigan's winning the Natty. And I know your cousin Nevin actually goes to the University of Michigan because I've seen you hooked up with some of the Michigan gear.
Yeah, he got me a Michigan beanie. I keep that in
Beautiful
in my room over there.
Work of art.
Yeah, it's a great hat.
Where do you keep it? I couldn't hear you.
I just have it in my room over there. But I always bring up one beanie a summer because beginning of summer and the end of summer in Maine is fucking freezing.
I was gonna say it's like the one place you keep it where it's like actually not.
Well, I know I need it in
used.
the beginning, and then I'm not gonna take it home because I know I need it at the end of the summer. So.
Oh, but it's so nice though. Like in September, like it's always got that little bit of nip to the
No.
air. When you...
Honestly, that's my favorite. I shouldn't
Yeah.
say favorite because I do love the summer up here. But
Oh yeah.
that little nip, and you got like a whiskey, like a JMO cider with cinnamon sticks.
Ooh.
That's my go-to. Anyone listening,
That's
try
gonna
it.
warm you right
I mean, I'm
up.
sure it's not an unknown drink. It's probably pretty standard, but just get cinnamon, real apple cider. Wait for that real shit, not the Market Basket crap, but the real stuff.
Oh, whoa. We ain't got
and
no
some
Market
JMO.
Basket up in this pot. I mean, I guess
That's
we
true.
do. Southern
No,
Maine,
there's
we do.
one.
Southern Maine, we got one.
Yeah. I know I passed one on 95, but it's a ways from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are a Hannaford group. Hannaford and Walmart.
What you gotta say about Hannaford?
Oh, I love Hannaford.
I was gonna say I was like, yo,
Yeah, I have nothing
Bama
wrong
Bear.
with Hannaford.
Bama Bear worked
I
there
have
for a long
nothing wrong
time.
with Hannaford. It is a little expensive, but
It's
or more expensive, I should say.
They always have some pretty good deals though.
Yeah.
They always have good deals
Yeah.
on the pork. Ooh,
Yep.
2 for $10.
But yeah, love skiing. I snowboard a tad. I got some buddies that were trying to learn, so I switched to snowboarding. I did that as a kid. Nev and I, when I was, 10, 12, something like that. We snowboarded for like 2 years, and I switched back to skiing. I recently picked snowboarding back up just to, board with my buddies that were trying to learn. But now they're getting good enough where I can ski with them now. So that was the entire point, was to get them all into skiing, so that way I can actually ski with them.
Who you think gets more of the ski bunnies, the snowboarders or the skiers? Now there
That's a
are
good
probably
question.
more skiers, but who you think gets more of the bunnies in the end of the day?
I'm on the spot.
That's a great question. I don't think it has anything to do with if you ski or snowboard, though. It's if you have skis when you're on the mountain. It has nothing to do with what you're going down the mountain with. It's how you're skiing.
So what you're saying is it's not the arrow. It's not the arrow. It's the Indian.
Yeah, it's the wait, what?
It's not the arrow. It's the Indian.
Is that the PC?
Did you just make that one up?
I probably formulated that. I probably
Okay,
fucked that.
I had never heard of that one before.
First ever time
All right,
I heard.
it's
on
not the
Cooked
arrow,
Lobsters.
it's the Indian. Okay.
Well, definitely got to make a T-shirt and give that to him on Christmas.
In my teeth, my Christmas.
Hey, we're
teeth.
breaking ground over here with new
New headway.
But yeah, apparently. So yeah, I think it's your steez, your skill on the mountain. I don't think it has anything to do with one or the other.
I can feel that.
Because I think it's like,
But you never know.
Yeah, I think it's pretty even.
Do you really think it's your skill on the mountain though? Because I've seen a lot of those ski movies where like it's not always the best skier that gets the titties and gets the girl.
Well, okay, I didn't mean like that was the only thing that causes to get the most ski bunnies.
I feel like the less
It's just
you
the
ski,
base.
I feel like this is changing every single
Well,
time. There's a
hold
new
on.
answer. It's like a new
No,
new
that's
angle.
the base to it. That's the foundation, and then there's a lot of things that come out of it.
Better question is like who gets approached more, skiers or snowboarders?
I think probably skiers, because snowboarders get a bad rap. People think snowboarders are a
Bad
bunch of
boys.
bums.
I feel like it's like the
But that might work
jocks-
in your favor if you got a ski bunny that's looking for a bad boy. So
yeah, ski bunny with a little daddy issues.
I feel like it's
he
like
said it, not me.
I think it's like the jocks versus like the stoners. Like the jocks are like the skiers because they're super like
they look more dedicated.
yeah, they're
they
like
look more intense.
you're when you ski,
Yeah.
you're all in. Like when you
Yeah.
snowboard, you're
Yeah.
like, yo, either I'm fucking cocked
Well,
going
it's-
down this
With
mountain.
snowboarding, you can just kind of like do that like leaf down the mountain and just
Bro.
kind of blow snow everywhere. That's why everyone hates snowboarders.
Yeah, because the snowboarders are the people that like smoke the whole lift up and then we walk out. It looks like, like they
Yeah,
just
they're
walked
not
out
ready.
of Woodstock or some shit.
Yeah.
They're the ones
Yep.
not ready to get off the lift.
And the people that come off the lift that are like skiers are just like, whoa, let's go fucking super fast. Dude,
Let's
they're
go.
just-
We gotta get our runs
It's
in,
like
baby.
your uppers. It's like your upper group
Yep,
is the
yep.
skiers, and then your lowers are like the
Agreed.
snowboarders. It's like, yo, bro, let's
Have you guys
take
ever
the
skied or
long
snowboarded
way.
before?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, how'd that go?
I'm more of a skier, and I
Okay.
always find that the snowboarders were always conveniently planted on the ground out front of every little jump, adjusting their binding
Yep.
so the ski guys can't hit
Yeah.
them.
I
Every
will say
single
that
time.
they sit in very bad spots.
Terrible.
Very bad spots. Not all of them, but a lot of them sit in very bad spots.
Yeah, I bet if there's if there's a collision where somebody is going and somebody is stopped, 9 out of 10 times the person going has skis and the person stopped is snowboarding.
Yep, I agree.
What's your take from?
Yeah,
what did you do? Did you snowboard or ski?
Yeah, we talked about it on episode 4.
I'm
if I
assuming you
believe.
skied in Maine.
No, I went snowboarding in Loon,
Okay.
in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
a lot
cool,
of fun.
cool.
I've been there as a kid. I went there.
It was a lot of fun. I've never been on, so like putting boots on was like really awkward because
For
like
a board or ski?
for a board.
Okay. I
Snowboarding.
was say try putting ski boots on, dude, for the first time.
Dude, I just
They're
don't.
weird.
I just don't like the fact how fucking fast you can go when you have two things this big on your feet and you can just go like 80 miles straight as fast as you can.
80 miles is tough. I think my top speed is probably 58. I think I didn't break 60.
That's
I
still
don't-
like 30
Yeah,
miles way
well,
too fast.
I'm aware. But that's like when you find this section of just down, you tuck it just to hit that top speed.
I just feel like
I'm
there's
not
too-
normally skiing that fast.
You gotta have the right powder for that too.
That's just packed granular. Because you want to be going fast. You can't be going that fast through like moguls and powder. You'll kill yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Learning lessons.
Yeah.
But no, I went snowboarding and we grabbed 2 blunts and smoked those in there, and then we had a couple beers, and then I tried to put the beer out of the top, and it got stuck. So that
Out
was,
of the top? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
like the lifts, they have like that little spot on the lift that you can like has like a window. There's literally like an opening on the ski lift. when you're going up and you're with like 4 people. There's 2 people on each side.
Yeah.
When you're going up it, there was like a little spot you can throw your beers out.
There's like a. Are you talking like in a bubble in the trailer? Do you know?
Yeah,
what
on the
he's
lift. On the lift.
Oh, like a gondola?
Yeah.
Oh, gone. Okay, I'm thinking of regular trailer. I'm like, what are
Like
you
a
talking
full
about?
gondola.
Oh, dude, this
Okay.
shows you like how much
Yeah,
I go.
gondola. I got it.
So we're on the
Fully
gondola and I went to
understand it
put
now.
like a beer out out the thing, and it like caught a wind and it came back up, so it was just standing straight up on top of the thing.
Oh,
so
it
it was
must have been super fucking windy.
Oh, so it was like
Yeah.
it was kind of funny because when we got out of the gondola, I'm sorry for using the wrong terms. The guy like turned. We got.
You
We
don't have
got
to apologize. We were just
No, I'm just
confused as
making
shit.
sure.
Oh, we're
we were
purists
like,
here.
what are you
We're
It's
talking
all
about?
good. But no, I got out of it, and then like we turned around. The guy was just like this, and he had like a whole thing of beers, and he's like, "Who was in this one?" And it's like, "Oh, well, sorry, like I don't know where to put them."
I mean, you gotta crush them up. Put them in your pocket. Don't be
Dude.
littering.
I thought they wanted the money.
Fair enough.
Oh, they don't do that in New Hampshire. I just learned that recently. They don't do refundables.
Really?
In New Hampshire.
I say I lived in New Hampshire like 2 years, and I can't even recall that.
Yeah, never
I guess not.
returned a bottle while you were there.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, I guess I didn't.
No, but yeah, no. I went there. That was fun. I left with a bruise on my ass, but it was an interesting time.
Yep,
It's-
you usually do.
I never know. Like you got to switch sides. Really, it's weird.
Yeah, toe to heel. I mean, you wakeboard, so I
I've
feel
only
like
been
you'd be
one
able
side because I only go like once or twice a year.
Oh,
so I don't have.
right,
So when I
right.
go, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make it a good pull.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
other than
no,
pulling
I
the
gotcha.
boat is all the way when you're
Yep.
fucking going. I don't mean to do that when you're pulling me too.
to. Dude, when you wakeboard behind the boat, like, and you go out to the side, the whole fucking boat moves. Because it's a ski boat, so it's like it's not as heavy in the water as like a wakeboard boat. So whenever you like you're a big dude, when you pull it over and you cut the whole, I have to overcompensate the wheel so that when it goes, it steers that way and it corrects itself.
Yeah, you can feel it when you're in the boat.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
But no, shout out to Curtis with always having the nice little toys. You got the glass strong with the tower on it.
Yep.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So
We're on year 22, 21, something I forget. Over 20. That's all I know.
yeah,
Of that boat.
That
Had
boat's
that boat for over 20 years.
Yeah.
that boat's
we-
allowed to
shit.
drink.
We bought.
Damn.
Technically, we bought
Shit.
it. My grandfather bought it new in 02. So it's seen a lot. It's got some nicks and bruises on it. I've had to replace a couple benches and seats. Motor's doing good though. I mean, Yamaha is a nice brand, so I can't complain.
What do you think is the craziest shenanigans that boat has seen?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, dude. Which
Top 2 or 3. you know?
let's.
I mean,
Real question is, which boat's seen more shenanigans, the Lund or the Mastercraft?
first of all, it's a glass round, not
Glass
a Mastercraft.
round.
I
Oh,
wish
yeah.
I had a Mastercraft. Can you get sponsored by Mastercraft and then I'll get a new
Mastercraft
boat?
Sponsor us.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be nice. Let's get a Mastercraft
Thompson
sponsor.
Lake, you go. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we've just been out there drinking till non-alcoholic beers. We don't drink and drive.
Never.
Absolutely. not.
O'Doul's. Shout out O'Doul's.
Shout out.
Doyle rules. I mean,
O'Doyle rules. Yeah.
Zeros.
I mean, just out there in the middle of the lake. I remember one time it was probably 3 a.m. and we were all screaming, "I'm on a boat." That song by
Long Island.
yeah.
Changed the boat game forever.
And someone's, I think it might have been me or it might have been you. I don't know. Was sitting on top of the speaker, yelling, and I came the next morning. I walked out and my dad was like, "The fuck were you singing out there?" And I was like, "You heard us?" I was like, "We were way in the middle of the lake."
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, "If he heard us, that means everyone heard us." And I was like, "Oh shit."
But we learned to not do shenanigans in your own cove.
Yes,
You gotta
yes,
go
you gotta
one
go.
cove over.
You gotta
and do
move
some
out there.
shenanigans.
Go mess with the Boy Scout club that's out there.
Yep.
Dude, we could talk about some of the adventures. I tried talking about with Gus, but he wasn't like with us. Oh, fumble on the play.
Humble.
Oh, lineman.
Adventures of what?
Keep off beach, my guy.
Oh, keep off.
I think those are some of the shenanigans
Oh,
we should be
man.
talking about.
I mean, those weren't even shenanigans. Those are just good old times. You know, we were out there, you know, again, drinking O'Doul's, but that was really it. You know, we were playing Polish, we were playing bocce, we were playing spike ball.
Bocce was so much
that
fun.
beach is, oh my God.
It's a game changer for the whole lake.
But I mean, where it sits on the lake too, it's like you look out and it's straight into the sunset.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
if you're there in the afternoon, like that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that beach.
Got to be one of the best views you can get in all of Maine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Bold
for
statement,
sure.
but
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Well, I mean, depends on what kind of view you're thinking, right? If you're looking at like a hiking view, no, obviously, because you can see
course,
more.
right,
But
right.
in the sense of just a scenic view, standing on that beach, looking out in the sunset,
Huh.
there's nothing better.
It's nice too because like you can have it like where you can have like a chair in the water and still just relax like
Yeah.
halfway in the water.
Super nice scenery, and we're like excited too because we have a series that we got coming up where we're going to be doing a little bit of music on the dock. So that's going to be a new series. Then we're having a podcast interview after, so should be a great time. And we just booked our very first guest, Ethan Sanborn, who I'm proud to announce, but more on that later. More on that.
All right, cool. Already looking past me. Is that what that was?
No.
I'm still talking about this conversation.
I'm old news now.
Bro, like where we saw that beaver.
Yeah, that was cool. Didn't it swim right through your legs?
Oh, dude, it was like it was from me to you, and like what were we playing, bocce, or were we cleaning
we
up?
were just throwing football in the water, I think.
And then like I looked over and I was like, that thing it looks fucking massive.
Yeah.
What is that? And then like it came up and I was like,
I know. That
fucking
thing was huge.
beaver, dude!
That
This
thing
thing
was
was
massive.
I thought like people were like, yo, it can't be that big, and I was like, no, I have a witness. That shit was fucking huge.
It looked like a dog. To me, they look like an extra large
swimming dog.
Yeah,
Oh,
like a
it's-
swimming dog. With
But
a
this thing was like
ridiculous tail.
underwater for it did pop up eventually.
Dude, it
but
popped up.
I'd never
like,
seen a beaver
right from me to
swimming like that
Curtis.
before,
Like
so
that's
it was
how
really
close
cool.
it was when it popped up, and I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, those things are big.
They can go quite a few minutes underwater. Not a super long time, but they can go quite a few minutes.
Yep.
They're cool.
So yeah, I think the only thing I learned about beavers was back in maybe like 8th grade bio class or something. I mean, I know their dams. They got to go underwater to get to their dams, so they gotta be able to swim.
Yeah, they live in their dams. They're like the working bees or the working ants of the mammal world. They're super interesting. They're the only animals besides humans that really make dramatic changes on the ecosystem in quick periods of time.
Were you the one
Yeah.
that told me that if they get captative, like if there's an animal after them in their dam, like they'll just start eating their own dam?
Yeah, they'll chill in their dam. Their dam is like 5 or 6 layers deep, depending on how successful they were.
Oh,
at building
I didn't
it.
know that. They just start using.
Dam,
their-
right?
Yeah.
That's
Hey!
that's like-
They don't always eat wood, but if they feel that they're being threatened from something outside, they can just eat many layers of their house and outlast anything that tries to come at them.
been like
Didn't know that. You learn something new every day. I did not know that.
That happens when you have a lot of animals out here. Dude, there's
Yeah.
been so many animals out this
Yeah.
year. Like we had the loon.
There was like a 4-day stretch where there was just a lot of weird animal shit going on, like that. Yeah, that loon.
Yeah, so shout out to our neighbor Craig, dude. Like this guy literally.
Should we get a
had-
shout out count on this episode?
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like
dude.
we're
We'll
in,
have
like,
a counter
7
in
or
the
8.
corner, and we'll just say every time we
Alright.
say shout out.
I
we
just
get
feel like
the
that's
phone
what I'm
in the
supposed to
corner.
do on a podcast is shout out.
Shout
people.
out counter. Let's
Yeah.
get it.
All
Bro,
right.
it's like everyone that's like listening to like take a shot every time he says shout out.
Yeah.
We must be at
It's not a
like
bad game.
6 or 7 shout outs.
Oh, just from Curtis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
And then it
6 or
just
7 or
went up
9.
like 6 more because we keep saying.
Yeah, well,
the
these
word.
don't count. They have to be.
yeah.
They have to be natural.
But no, give him one because like he had a loon that was wrapped in fishing wire, if I stand corrected.
Yep.
It had a fishing wire over its wings and its beak, and it had the hook like in its mouth. Ended up going
I
out
only saw
there.
it from a distance.
Dude,
so.
we were on the float.
Yeah,
we
I
were
mean,
playing King of the
I know,
Raft.
that's
yeah.
the distance. It wasn't like me and the loon right here.
Oh, but no, we were playing King of the Raft. We all know who the king is. But do you want?
The king wasn't invited.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where? Who?
This guy, obviously.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you don't even get me started, kid.
Okay.
But with the loon, man, it was so weird because we were like on the float, and then you just see a guy with giant mitts on, and then like a towel, and then they ended up like swaddling it, and apparently he got pecked a couple times. I didn't know that. That
Yeah.
shit.
Wild.
And we were talking about with Gus, it's like, can you imagine getting fucking attacked by a loon?
I mean, if you have the right gloves on that go up high enough, I'm sure you won't.
But no, being the person with the towel though.
Oh yeah.
You're talking-
They don't have the gloves. They're like, yo.
You're saying he had oven mitts on?
I don't know if they were oven mitts or like outdoor gloves.
He just had gloves.
I think it was like,
Probably doesn't have loon removing gloves
No.
at his
oh
disposal.
no.
Yeah,
But they ended up swaddling it, bringing it.
They cuddled it too. They gave a little cuddle and
They
then
spoon it?
yeah, they spooned it. I think.
Oh yeah.
Again, I couldn't see from the raft that close, but it looked like they spooned it for like 5 minutes.
I hope they listen to this episode and they just hear you talking about.
and they're like,
spoon
"You
the loon."
motherfucker."
But no, they ended up
Who's
getting
fucking
it.
guy? Who's he think
Yeah.
he is?
But they ended up getting the hook out of its mouth
Yeah.
and letting it out. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So and then
Well, and then we had my girlfriend and I. We saved a chipmunk. There's a chipmunk that was just chilling outside our deck.
I didn't
like
hear
a
about
day
this.
later. Yeah, I don't think I ever told you guys. It was a chipmunk, and I caught it because it still had enough energy to kind of run away from me a little bit, but it wasn't really going that far. So eventually I caught it. I put it in a little box. We gave it. We looked it up like blueberries, raspberries, nuts, peanuts, pistachios.
Good.
We gave it a bunch of food. And that night before we went to bed, we checked, and he was still chilling in there. And he ate all the food. And he drank. I put like a little cup of water in there. He drank the water.
Would you leave if someone just like chauffeured your ass?
Well, yeah, but then he was gone the next day. I was pumped. I was like, sweet, we got a pet chipmunk. And then the next morning he was gone. And like the box was covered, but it was still open, and it was on top. We put a chair on top, so like no animal got it. Like he clearly came. I think we just gave him enough energy through the food we fed him that he climbed out, and we saved him. I hope.
My grandma's brother had a pet flying squirrel. It was pretty cool. My
Yeah,
grandpa
those-
believed
yeah, I
on
heard
it.
about
That would be cool. I think those
Had it
would
in
be
his
super
pocket
cool.
and shit
Yeah, that'd
too.
be,
That's wild.
Jumps from places and you catch them. That'd be very cool.
That's that shit I expect to see up in like a West Virginia podcast or something.
Yeah, he's from Bangor. So, good old Bangor.
Okay.
For those
Nice.
that don't know what Bangor is, that's why I always gotta say Bangor the next time I say it.
Yeah.
Then what was after the chipmunk? Is there anything?
My girlfriend's family was coming in. They saw two massive bucks like on the road coming in here, and I've never seen deer coming in this. I mean, I've seen them up on the road, but I've never seen them coming in here.
Dude, you should
So
see
there's
them, like,
more animals.
Dude, like in March, they're fucking right up to the windows.
Yeah.
Like I'll be working and I'll like take a call and I'm just like, thank you for calling CD Bang. And
Well,
I'm
I've
like,
never
"This is a
seen
big
them
ass
around
man."
here, so I thought that was a little interesting.
That's cool.
And then the last one was the porcupine.
Yeah.
That one was an adventure.
Oh, dude, that was an adventure. Like, yeah, I saw it. I saw it over here, and then I tried warning you about it, and then.
Yeah, the thing waddled around. You were at your campfire. The thing waddled towards my house, and I just put a spotlight on it to see if I could find it. And it waddled. It was waddling out and basically went. I think waddle's an accurate thing because it wasn't running. It wasn't. It was definitely waddling. But by the time I found it with a spotlight, it was on the end of my dock, and then it just walked right off. It just plunked right into the water.
Fell right into the water.
No hesitation either.
Ungrateful.
Well, so the debate we have, which is that we at first didn't think they could swim.
Dude, I've heard they weren't allowed to swim.
Which now I think we understand they do swim.
They do swim.
Okay,
We
they
go
do
with
swim.
it.
Yeah,
But that thing was trapped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if he
Yeah.
could swim, why didn't he fucking swim away?
He had gotten trapped.
I think he
underneath
didn't
the dock.
realize that he fell off the end of the dock, not realizing
He's like, yo, I'm done.
He probably just like was so confused on what happened. So instead of realizing, hey, I'm in the water, I'm just gonna swim to shore. He didn't know where the fuck shore was. He didn't know anything.
Dude, I also think he was stuck under there because like the quills. So when he kept backing up, and when he finally got in there,
there was like 20 quills on my dock.
they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Then we used our brains together.
Yeah.
Got a
yeah.
net.
Good
Let him
old
use
windsurfing board because he was stuck under the dock. The end of the dock has like this little like V shape for the pole that comes up, and he got under and he sat in there so that he wasn't in the water.
He got his quill stuck there.
But then he couldn't go anywhere from there, and that's when he was making all that noise and like.
Dude, I felt so bad for him. I was like, he was not happy. Then we ended up like putting the net to the side so he can like grab onto the net like a gymnastics guy, and then pull himself on, and then get onto the board, and then we got him on the board. Onto the deck.
Yeah. So we've got the surfboard and we put it down in the water so we had something to get onto. Right.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
It was kind of scary. Like I was like, "Oh, we just saved him," and then he started walking towards me. I'm like, "What are you doing, guy?"
I know he wasn't walking fast. I wasn't worried too much.
He was a friendly guy. He's just a little dumb. And
Once he got on the board, though, it took him like a second because he was like realizing the shit I just went through. He's probably sat on the board for probably like 30 seconds, and then he hopped on the dock.
Then he kept looking out of the water. I'm like, "Don't go that way.
Yeah,
don't go that way.
Yeah,
don't.
Because I'm not going swimming for you.
Don't be like Jack in Titanic. Don't push out, guy. Don't go that way." But
he almost fell back in the water after we had to kind of steer him.
Yeah, we had to steer him out down the dock so he could get up to
the net. I was like, no.
Yeah.
He seemed like he may have showed up from Steve's house and maybe had a few of his Budweisers that were kicking around.
Oh, probably.
Seemed like a tipsy little.
I say he was waddling. Maybe it wasn't a waddle. It was a drunk stumble.
Oh, that was a drunk skunk or a drunk porcupine, man.
Yeah, not a skunk. That was a skunk. I would fucking gone near that.
Dude, this
thing.
guy thought he was like, "Oh, it's a beaver." I'm like, "There's no way it's a fucking beaver."
Say
He
beaver.
straight up said it was a beaver.
Not a beaver. Not a beaver.
No, definitely not a beaver.
talking about like crazy times. You want to tell these listeners out here about what you do in igloos, about your college stories in an igloo? Man, I think it was like one of the coolest
story.
Bro, that's one of the coolest stories you ever told me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million stories from college, right? Everyone has those
I'm always
college days.
It's your time.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Winnick. There we go. There's another one. Add it up. Shout out Winnick, Western New England University. Technically, it was Western New England College at first. My freshman year. Now it's WNU, I guess. Doesn't have the same ring to it.
It doesn't. No,
not at all. Winnick versus WNU. I guess.
WNE.
Yeah. Well, no, it's WNEC, and now it's. Technically, it's their logo is just WNE now. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so freshman year, we got slammed with snow. I think it was what was my freshman year, 2010, going into 2011. So, we just got storm after storm after storm after storm.
Yeah, I do remember. That was a crazy storm.
Yeah, and
that was my first winter here.
Really?
2011. That's when we moved here.
Shit, I didn't know that. So anyways, yeah, so because we had so much snow, we used to go over to this place we called it the Garden, which was like off campus and where we would just go smoke. And because we got so much snow that year, we couldn't get it was a baseball field where we'd sit on the benches and we couldn't get there. There was so much snow. So we had to figure out some other way to smoke, being degenerates in college and smoking. So we ended up behind the gym. There was a huge parking lot, and there was so much snow that year that the plows, would plow their big embankments, and then they had to push that up the hill in order to get more snow out off the parking lot. So we decided to go through, over one of the embankments, and then up around another embankment, and then we dug an igloo into the backside of the second embankment, and it took us a whole weekend. And there was probably, I don't know, between 10 and 12 guys that did it. So this igloo was the sickest igloo I'd ever constructed in my entire life. You kind of came down the embankment. We called it, what was the name of it? We couldn't decide. We called it GZ Ground Zero Fort 20. So GZ Fort 20.
Named this base?
Yeah, we named it. Yeah, it was Ground Zero and Ground Zero Fort 20. So 420 ground zero. We just couldn't decide, so we kind of mashed the name together.
Got a flag too. That'd have been like that's it.
Well, we took sticks and we put it on the entrance. But you came down the hill into this igloo. It was a big opening. You had to crouch a little bit, and then you turned right, and it opened up into a space. I want to say circumference-wise, like the size of this room. Obviously, it wasn't as tall, but we had a bench. You opened up, and it was a whole full bench area that could fit, like I said, 10 to 12 guys.
Yeah, you're showing me the videos of that, dude. That place, it was kind of crazy.
That was very cool. And then we just clam baked it for the next 4 months.
Did you have a chimney?
No, we had a lookout. We had a little lookout though. So, we had a little bit of paranoia because we're still on campus.
Back in 2011.
2011. Yeah.
Was that Mass?
Yeah, it's Mass. Yep.
Yeah.
And so we kind of had we dug a hole out of the igloo and just were able to kind of look onto the parking lot. But that thing was so cool because you would smoke in it and then you would just get higher because you're just experiencing being high in an igloo. And you're just looking at your buddies and you're just this is so fucking cool.
I know.
It's a once in a lifetime experience because I haven't done that since and I will never do that again.
I know. That's why
it took 12 guys entire weekend.
That's why I was like, yo, you gotta tell that story. That shit's crazy. I don't know how many people could be like, yo, you ever smoke out of an igloo?
Did you ever get caught?
It was no. So I think it was just because with the way we designed it, it wasn't the first entrance; it was a second entrance. You kind of had to go around. So we always laughed about the fact that the police might have been looking at the cameras and just see 12 guys just walk into the woods and come back an hour later and just be like, where the fuck are they going? And we also thought if someone did find us, they would just come into the igloo and just be so impressed with what we did that they wouldn't even be mad about it. They'd be like, this is actually kind of cool. They're like, you gotta go and we need to take this from you.
Leave your shit cool. And then we'll call it even.
Yeah, they'd be like, this is really fucking cool. I think we're calling it even.
All you need is an extension cord and then you got some power in there and then you got the coolest place ever.
Yeah, we thought about that, but we were off the back end of a gym parking lot. What were we going to splice it from the neighbors through the fence? That's how you get caught. Yeah. When you get too greedy, that's when you get caught.
Facts.
Exactly. I remember though towards the end of the season, it was, I knew it was safe because in order to build that thing, we were like chiseling through the snow.
When did you start it?
Friday afternoon.
No, like not like start it. I mean, like what time of year?
Beginning of the second semester, I think. So it was sometime in early January.
Okay.
Okay.
But the storms we got weren't just snowstorms; they were like ice storms.
Oh, dude! I remember how shitty that was.
Like the pile of snow that we dug into, like no joke, we had freaking shovels and chisels like chiseling away. So I knew we were fine. But come like, I don't know, I want to say like end of March, beginning of April, like you could tell the ceiling had come down a little bit, and you're in there smoking. And you're like, should we be in here anymore? We're like, this is a little sketchy.
How long did you? When did it? What was the last day? Of like the.
I couldn't remember. I mean, I want to say mid April.
Damn,
dude, there was so much.
That's impressive.
There was so much snow
year.
that year that it took forever to melt. Took forever.
But like this year, like it was gone in March.
I say this year, like barely had any snow.
Dude, this year's been nuts with the lake.
Yeah.
It's like been
Yeah.
we had like the water was like the lowest I've seen it. They had a
It's
fucking.
actually pretty high right now. For
It's
August.
super high
It's
right
very
now,
high for
yeah.
August right now.
As we speak, it's like
Yeah.
bordering like ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. It's like to the top of the. It's like the bottom board of my dock. I'm
Yep.
like, ah, shit.
Yep.
But
but that was one of many, many crazy stories. That one, I mean, I don't say that was
Top
a crazy story. Oh yeah, that was top 5 just because of like how cool it was and what we did. Like I wouldn't say that was like a crazy bender where something crazy happened. We just did something.
That's
cool.
like an event. It's not like a one
we
time.
just-
Yeah.
And it circulated a little bit. Like I was at a party one time. So one of my friends that I knew, like, came up to me. He's like, "Yo, where's this igloo?" And I'm like, "All right, first of all, you have to get invited to the igloo. You can't ask to go to the igloo."
So
there was-
first rule of igloo. You
Yeah,
don't talk
yeah,
about
you
the
don't
igloo.
talk about the igloo.
Come on,
Because the last thing we wanted was like to go in to like the boys who built it and have it like full of like a bunch of other people.
Bunch
We'd
of
be like,
chumps.
like,
in
Be
there.
like, "What are you doing here?"
Who the fuck?
So
are
we
you
kept
in my
it. We
igloo?
kept it under wraps pretty good. It got out a little bit, but it stayed under wraps pretty good. I mean, we had it for 4 months basically. So
Dude, that's a long ass time.
not 3.5, but yeah.
We'll definitely
Still
have
though,
to put
that's pretty successful.
Yeah,
igloo.
we'll have to
we
put
have
a
one
picture
video.
up if we can. You
I
got a
know.
picture
So
of
we have one. I mean, this was back. I didn't even have a smartphone at that point. My buddy had like an
Oh,
iPhone
dude.
3, and he took a video of it. So he walks in. I'll try and find it and send it to you. And he kind of walks in, and you see the entrance, and then he turns, and you see the whole like U-shaped bench. I say the one key in igloos is you have to build a cardboard seat, and then you got to wrap it in duct tape because sitting out there, your ass gets cold as shit.
Oh, I bet.
So you got to make like little like waterproof seats to sit on.
Pro tip right there.
Yeah,
Bring your own chairs.
bring your own. Well, no, the
Exclusively
chairs
here.
were the benches that were built in.
Oh, like
But
we have
you
those
had to-
baseball ones. You know, those like little portable ones.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have
Well,
those-
there wasn't enough room for 12 people to have those in there. The bench is
Yeah.
the only way it worked.
Oh no, not the big benches. Like you know when you have like those little solo pop up ones, you get to sit in yourself. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this, but just yeah.
But yeah, key to igloos is bring a waterproof seat if you're gonna
Yeah.
be in there for a while.
Wait, didn't you do something in the walls there too?
The walls.
Didn't you smoke in the walls or some shit?
Oh my god,
Bring
dude!
it
I
up.
even forgot about that.
Bringing old memories back.
Jesus Christ.
I know Cheech
Um,
Chong over here, but it's been a minute.
Yeah, so let's see. Sophomore year, well, I don't know who found this, but one of my buddies found this like this bathroom where like there's like a vent in there. And it was actually kind of, I mean, it wasn't creep, but we went in there and like it was like this much space, and it was obviously, you know, a wall between a wall, and there was pipes in there, and there was like a book, there was like a pillow, like it was like someone's like spot.
Someone's living in here.
Well, not someone's living in there, but
Someone's secret
but
spot.
this, yeah, but like the sketchy thing about it was like it was in a bathroom, so it was like, what is this person doing? Like
The
hanging
fuck?
out in a bathroom while people are showering, and it was very weird. But we were like,
Whoa, we might
Yeah.
have stumbled onto a
Better
little
pun-
more.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's some peepholes
it was
too,
very
right?
weird. Well, there was no, well, there's because it was like a, I don't know, it was like a 4 or 3 by 3 foot like sheet metal that like you had to open, and it was like a entrance. You know, like builders use that for like if there's something an issue, they have to get to the pipes. It's like an access
Yeah,
thing.
I know.
Okay, yeah.
So it was there, but it was obviously supposed to be put in better or locked. It wasn't. So yeah, first vibes were this is creepy, and then second vibes were, oh, let's just get some of our buddies and let's smoke in here, just to say fuck it. We smoked in the build, like, so 3 of us went in there and we ripped a joint, and we had a lookout down at the base of the building just in case, you know, the smell. We didn't even when we got caught, right? And you know, we thought it wasn't gonna smell that bad, but because we were
What's
like
it?
inside the building with near all the pipes, we basically reeked up the entire floor and probably the second floor. But we had to look out.
And it's also a joint, guy. That thing's that's like the
Yeah.
worst smell.
And we had to
in the
look
world.
out down at the base. So we got through. I think we only got through half the joint, and then got paranoid because we were like, it was like smelling really bad. And then my buddy texted me and was like, the RA's smelling something, or the RA's, because he was standing outside the RA room, just like pretending not to be doing anything, just to like pick up on the chatter.
Nonchalant, just chilling.
He texted us and was like, they're like, there's something going on. So we're like, fuck this, like we're out.
It's like the worst thing to text someone that's high as fuck. You're just like, yo, we gotta go. It's like,
so we dipped pretty quickly on that. But it was an experience. We said we smoked inside the building of the place we lived at. It was pretty comical.
Yeah, I can't believe you told me that story. I was like, oh, that shit was wild.
I forgot about that one.
And then the final one, because there's always 3.
Okay.
Good things come in 3s.
Bro, I gotta say the best one for last.
I would agree, probably, if I think...
You already know what
if I know what you're about to say, you're
so
most
let's
likely.
talk about the shot.
The shot.
The shot.
All right, the shot. I never thought...
Is it a shot or a dunk?
I was going to say, I always look at it as a dunk or
So this is
jump.
Curtis's Michael Jordan moment. Let you...
Yeah, well, I didn't make the shot, so... I mean, I guess Michael Jordan did miss, half the shots he took.
Was it more like an and one? Was there a foul in the play?
There's 100% a foul involved.
Okay, so there's an and one, so you're at the line, so you're good.
But the foul was the stationary deck fence and the stationary, the fucking table. So I saw it there already. It wasn't an actual...
So elaborate.
Do you want me... Okay.
Oh, yeah, you gotta tell the story.
Well, let's see. I'll give a little background. So... It was, it was crazy. A bunch of my buddies in high school all have birthdays in April, and a bunch of my buddies in college have birthdays in April. So April is just a crazy month.
Party month,
It's
baby.
just, especially when you're in college and
420 too.
Yeah. It's just nuts.
It's a lot.
So the year before, I had a 21st party at my place in Cherokee. Shout out Cherokee. Cherokee Drive. Shout it out. That was a blast. But I just remember my buddy getting like just as shit. There's a picture of me passed out in my bed at like 11 o'clock, 10:30, and he's passed out right next to me. So the joke is that he got more fucked up than I did at my birthday. So fast forward to my senior year, and I was like, all right, now I'm going to get more fucked up than you at your birthday. And we were also drinking. We went on a cruise, our spring break, we went on a cruise. We snuck in alcohol in wine bottles. We emptied them out and pulled a cork, like put a shoe on it, hit it against a tree, and the cork pops out. Emptied it. Well, we drank the wine. We didn't empty it, but we drank it, and then we filled it with Devil Springs vodka. I don't know if any of you know Devil Springs vodka, but it is 150 proof, 140 proof, something. We basically knew that we wanted to sneak on as high potent of alcohol as possible on this cruise because we didn't want to run out. Yeah. Dude, it was like fucking gasoline. Oh my god. But anyway, so we had a little bit left. So bring us up to that party, and we're drinking this freaking propane shit.
Pure ethanol.
Yeah, it is intense. So I don't know. This is probably at like 4 p.m. We've been drinking all day. A lot of stuff involved here, and I'm standing on the deck, and someone just says something about like doing a pong dunk. Basically, you'll see it in the video, but you're on a deck here, and the pong table's like here. So it was like, I don't know, an 8-foot drop, and somebody was just like, oh, that'd be funny if someone like jumped off and tried to dunk it. And me, being the drunk idiot that I was just like,
very drunk idiot.
What'd you do?
I just said, if you give me a pong ball, I'll do it. I was just like, fuck it. Oh, you give me a pong ball, do it. Like just throwing it out there, not really thinking that anyone would care. And so I just go back to my conversation. And then one of my college buddies, Timmy Smith, shout out Timmy Smith. He just walks up to the deck and puts just like this and just puts a pong ball in my face. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I totally did say, if you give me a pong ball, I'll do it.
And you're a man of your word.
Yep. So I was like, all right, you got me a pong ball. Fuck it. So the plan was to put the ball in my left hand, run and jump over the railing, and land or go to the right side of the table, dunk with my left hand, and then roll, like hit my right shoulder, roll into my right shoulder.
It's a lot of work and
so I'm going to jump, say the table's here,
man.
I'm jumping here, dunking it, and then rolling this way.
Bro, that's what your mind was thinking, but really you were ball into cup.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing, is my mind was working, but it wasn't working, because if you watch the video, I start out with the ball in my right hand. I'm literally like lining it up, and the ball's the wrong hand to start with.
You're already fucking up.
So I already fucked it
Bro,
up.
the first thing I see in the video is this is like your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is like-
I'm trying to like line it up from like 20 feet away, like a fucking idiot. And so I jump. Thankfully, my legs kind of nick the railing, which drops my head because I fall and I hit the. Also, this isn't like a fold-up pong table. This is like an old cabinet. This thing's like sturdy. This is like this thing over here. It's not
like no joke. That shit will knock you the fuck
exactly. And,
Real deal
and,
lumba.
yes. And so I hit like kind of like right here. Definitely got a concussion.
Forehead?
Yep, I kind
Right
of,
on
but
the
like
forehead.
if
Anthony
my legs
Davis.
hadn't dropped my
Idiot.
head from hitting the railing, I would have knocked out all my teeth because my head would have been higher.
Oh, bro.
Because my legs hit, my head dropped, and I hit here. Full scorpion, legs came all the way up, hit me in the back of the head. But I was fine. I just got up within 3 seconds and danced it off.
Bro, that shit was like you can explain it, but when the listeners like,
Oh yeah, you gotta see the video.
gotta see the video.
you
this
gotta see
shit's
the-
fucking
Especially
we're not-
the angle of the guy the other side who like sees the whole thing with the depth of how
just
far.
perfect pan.
Yeah.
It's
that
just
was-
like
Great
your
camera
face literally was like, boom! I thought you died.
What year
Yep.
did that happen?
my senior year, so 2014.
2014. Great
Yep.
camera work for 2014.
Yeah.
Can you have an interesting follow up story with that with Rob Deerdeck?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, first of all, it went on Barstool, which that was when Barstool was
shout out Barstool.
Yeah, he beat me to it.
As of today, Portnoy actually just bought back his share of Barstool.
Yeah, he did.
So he's
I saw that.
He's 100% in control again.
So that was when Barstool was still kind of. I mean, they were super. I forget when they started, back in like 03, 04, but 2011, 12, 14, they were still kind of new. Like you can't even the posts he put on, you can't even find it anymore on the internet. I wish, because he wrote a blog basically being like, this kid can go to bat for me any day of the week. I thought that was kind of cool. But I wish I saved it, but I didn't. So yeah, it started on Barstool. I smartly deleted my Facebook so that way it didn't attach to me virally. My parents didn't find it.
Smart cookie there.
I made sure, because I remember my buddy the next day was like, dude, I was trying to find you on Facebook to attach you. And I'm like, that's why I deleted it.
Every job will never.
I know,
be.
right? I was trying to find a job.
Bro, you're
and I
the
was
guy
like,
that fucking smashed his head,
exactly.
bro.
Weren't you the guy on ridiculousness that Chanel was going?
I didn't get on ridiculousness, and that's my own. I shouldn't say fault because I didn't want to do it unless they gave me enough. I wanted residuals. I wanted $500. I mean, I didn't really care about the $500. I wanted residuals on it, and I wanted them to fly me and a buddy out to watch the show when I'm on it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think that was that big of a deal. They have Rob Dyrdek as their fucking guy. Like, they have money. And they told me no. I was like, all right, fine, no. And then they called me back a year later again, and they asked me again to be on ridiculousness. And I told them the demands haven't changed. I was like, I still want residuals, and I still want you to fly me and buddy out to go watch it. And she's like, oh, we're a small budget operation film. I'm like, you're on MTV, and your host is Rob Dyrdek. You're lying to my face. I'm like, you're not gonna take. They wanted the rights to the thing too. They were gonna take away my rights to it. And I was like, I'm not giving you the rights just because you're a small budget film. So all my friends were mad at me. They were. I shouldn't say mad, but they were just annoyed. They wanted to say that they had a buddy who was on ridiculousness. But yeah, so I shut them down twice.
Probably
They're just
for the
mad
better.
because they weren't like actually there. I wish I was there. That'd been
At
like
the jump?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were there.
Oh, then why are they bitching? It's like, bro, you were actually at the event.
No, I know,
Like,
but I
that's,
think
like,
they
the greatest
just.
thing
I mean,
to ever see.
it is kind of cool to be on ridiculousness.
They could have been
Absolutely.
filming.
Yeah,
They could.
and
They
then
could have
I forget where they. Well, some of them actually weren't. Some of them were at the house because our house was just a mile down the road, and I stumbled home and they'd already seen the video, and they're like, "Jesus Christ, dude, you're alive!" And I went into my room, and I had a small room in college, and I had this like little stand in my room that had like. It was like a wicker table that was very narrow, and then it had a fridge on top of it, and then it had a TV on top of that. And I came in my room, and the first thing I did was just knock all that over. So they were like, you fucking idiot. But yeah. So
Drunk, a little concussed.
yeah, definitely a little concussed. What's college if you don't have at least get one concussion though?
That's a fact.
I got too many in high school.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I picked the wrong sport.
Yeah.
I picked football.
But yeah, that one, that one was probably my dumbest but funniest decision I did in college.
Those are 3 moments I remember of you telling me.
Yeah.
When I was growing up.
Yeah,
with you.
and that one is, I mean, that was just great because I finally, about 6 years later, I posted it on my Instagram, and now it's just funny. Whenever I meet people that like, you know, I know aren't gonna judge me, they're just chill about it. They just think it's fucking hilarious.
Bro, it's better now because like you saved it for a better casting. You have it for us now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna post it this way and be like, yo,
yeah,
100%.
I'm getting residuals though, right? Is that how
exactly.
this works?
Residuals. We agree.
And I'm here for the taping, so I think it kind of works.
It's like, yo, we saved a lot of money
Yeah.
from flying your ass up.
I mean, Weber, you're not Rob Deerdeck, but I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
But we don't have to listen to Chanel here.
That's very true.
So who's Rob and who's Big?
I think that's the wrong show.
Yeah, it's the complete wrong show.
It's the wrong show.
So wait, is
who's
it Chanel?
Rob and Sterling?
Sterling, yeah. Sterling's the guy that like just puts squares on the screen and does that little like DJ
Let me rewind
thing.
it real quick.
Let me rewind that real
Yo,
quick.
watch this.
I've never seen this before, but I'm going to perfectly rewind it every single time to the exact right moment.
Yeah.
Even with the hands not off and it's still going, it's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, still a good show. I do like
Great show.
ridiculousness.
Oh, dude, he killed so many hours where you're just stoned or drunk and you're just like waiting for a party to go to a party.
Agreed.
Just throw ridiculousness on,
Yep.
dude. Not a good time for thinking or something.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen some great ones, and it's funny because they have their logo, which is like what they call the scorpion when the guy like.
Well,
face
yeah,
plants,
that's.
and
I think
exactly
that's
what
why
you
they
were.
wanted it so bad is
Yeah.
because of. I mean, there probably had a million Scorpion.
You
videos,
look just
but
like the logo.
I'm just. I'm surprised they called me again that following year.
Dude, it's a big video. It's a big hit.
Yeah,
It's big at the time.
but they didn't give me what I wanted, so.
No. Unfortunately not.
Tough doing business, you
Yeah.
know.
Absolutely.
So for the listeners out there, like, what brings you to Maine so much? Like, what makes you love Maine so much? Or like,
I mean, well, besides the neighbors, because the neighbors kind of suck, but.
Don't tell Timmy and Joey that.
No, I mean, my grandfather and grandma bought our place back like 1986, I want to say, and they've built it up. Beautiful spot. It's just so calming. I mean, coming up to Maine it's my happy place. I fucking love this place. It's so relaxing. You know, you're sitting on the deck over there, just sipping coffee or beer or tea, whatever you're doing.
Mule or
Yeah,
some shit
and
like
just looking out on the water. I mean, all humanity loves to look out at at views and water, right? Because it's just ever changing. Like that's like kind of like staring at a fire. Like that's what people like is staring at something that's constantly moving, that's changing. That's almost keeps you a little entertained. You're not
It's
staring
almost
at
like
a
watching
picture.
the DVD screen when the DVD goes black and it starts flowing around the screen. It's
Yep.
just why we're so mesmerized
It's like
by
a
things
slower
like that.
version of Pong.
Yep.
It's like that's the evolution. We started looking at fires, and then eventually it turned into DVD screens. I don't know how that happened, but it did.
Oh, can you remember the first DVD you ever bought?
No.
This is a hot
It was
question.
so long ago, to be honest.
Oh, I don't even think I ever bought one.
You never bought a DVD?
My family was not a DVD family. We
Oh, we
obviously
all
had
know that.
VHSs.
Jump right to
and
Blu-ray.
we did Blockbuster.
R.I.P.
And then R.I.P.
R.I.P. No
And
shout
then,
out. Just an
yeah,
R.I.P.
yeah. No shout out on that one. They can't be a sponsor. That's why.
No sponsorship money coming from Blockbuster. unfortunately.
And
If
then
it brings them back, I'll sponsor
and
them
then
all
for a
day.
while, I just watched a bunch of movies online, and then now we have streaming. I mean, I'm sure I bought one. I can't recall.
So going a little bit back to like what brings you to Maine and everything.
Yep.
If there was one part of Maine that you could bring back to Massachusetts, what would you bring back? One part, like one aspect of Maine.
I think just its beauty. I mean, it's New England, right? So it all kind of, I shouldn't say looks the same because it doesn't, but just the exclusiveness of kind of how far away we are from are you talking like our camp, or are you just talking Maine in general?
Just Maine in general.
Maine in general.
I got a
Okay.
follow up.
Yeah. I mean, I think also if you're talking Maine in general, I think everyone is just more relaxed up here. Like everyone just goes with the flow. Like, I mean, we were just talking how I was, talking about mass holes. Like, there's just more stress in Massachusetts. People are just more anal, just don't really have, I mean, I'm not to say they don't have a smile on their face, but it's just, Maine's just a different vibe.
Something's always up their ass.
Yeah, apparently. But yeah, I think it's just a different vibe, right? If I could bring something home from Maine, it's just the ease of like Maine's slogan. You know, life is better here. It's just like
The
That's
way
our slogan?
The way life should be.
oh no,
Right.
the way is it way life should be?
I thought it was just called Vacation Land.
Well, it clearly has more than one name. I know Sugarbush is be better here, so I might have confused that one. But I want to say Maine's is the way life should be.
That's the first thing you see when you drive in.
Yeah,
on the highway.
and then it also is Vacation Land.
Yeah.
And but I mean, it's because people probably are on vacation a lot, but it's just how relaxed everyone is, how
Want some
nice
water?
everyone is. Water?
Yeah.
Oh, I got my
we got our lobster water.
my trusty one over here.
Oh, this is lobster water, guy.
I put lobster water in this before we started.
Hey,
Oh, are you stealing our lobster water?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you owe me lobster
I mean,
money.
that's like Jordan's
You know, it's
special
lobster
juice
money.
over there. That's what I figured. So
A follow up to that. What's one thing Maine could take from Massachusetts to improve?
what Maine could take from Massachusetts to
More people.
improve?
More Chick-fil-A's? What is it?
I say more people isn't necessarily to proving it.
I don't think that's
honestly,
an improvement.
Yeah, I don't think that would improve it.
I think it would in the winters, for sure. A lot of businesses really struggle because of the amount of people in Maine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously a lot of stuff is seasonal in Maine, especially when you're near the coast or on a lake. So I can understand where you're coming from there. What I could bring from Mass? I don't know. I think you might have to circle back on that one. I don't off the top of my head. I'm not totally sure.
Not the sports or the sport.
Bro,
things
if
like
they had
that
a
will bring
sport,
people.
like a pro sports team in Maine, that would be bitchin'.
That's actually. I mean, you have the affiliate of the Celtics, the Portland.
Red
Oh,
Claws.
that's the Sea Dogs.
Red Claws.
We got the Red
Red
Claws,
Claws.
we got the Sea Dogs.
Yeah.
Sea
we
Dogs
have
for
the-
baseball.
That's a good one. I would say that is. I mean, New England is New England, right? So you have the New England Patriots, but you know you have Boston Red Sox, you have Boston Bruins, the Boston Celtics. So like as a Mainer, I'm sure you feel like you're part of that, or you are because you're New England. But yes, I think it would be kind of cool to have an actual sports team in Maine.
I don't know. I mean, like half the state would almost have to show up to support it sometimes. But
Bro,
like,
that'd be
Where would it
lit,
put it?
though.
Portland probably.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
Portland,
dude, they could put it.
because Portland's
They could
close
do it in
enough
Oxford.
that like
They could do it in Oxford.
no, they're not.
Well,
Oxford's
they
not
got
Dude,
the
there's a
racetrack.
lot. They have a lot. Dude, they have the racetrack. They have the casino.
It's not the right vibe. No, I'm not saying the right vibe, but I feel like for people to want to go to a stadium, you need a lot of stuff around it.
Bro, you know how big it is football out here, though.
I agree, but I just feel like Portland might be the better, even though I don't know if
Yeah.
there's any space for
More
it.
money. Well,
There's
no one
more
from Portland.
spots.
Yeah, people
Portland's a
from
great
Oxford.
spot. I went there in April. I mean, it was a little cold, but it was a lot of
nippy?
fun.
Tip
Yeah,
and nipple,
yeah, a tip at
Nippy.
Nipley. Yeah.
Shit, I'm a fucking stoner. Yeah, but no, I'm saying like Oxford people would definitely go to Portland, but I don't think Portland people would come up to like Oxford.
Yeah,
Correct.
probably
That's
not.
the
Yeah.
thing. Like if you want to.
I'm not saying anything wrong with Portland people. I don't want to get in trouble with anybody, but I'm just
You,
saying.
No, all of the state of Maine is fantastic.
You might be able to put it in like Westbrook or something and call it Portland, kind of like they do with the new. They have a new music like stadium out there, and it looks oddly a lot like the Bangor Stadium. I'm not sure if that's a coincidence or
that
You
not.
want this?
It's kind of a.
I told you I haven't used one of those
What's that?
since I've become like Manchester. So
Well, I
2015.
think it's time to change that guy.
No,
No.
Is it,
I'm good.
Oh, are you gonna
I'm
stay
good.
up all night? Is it past 7?
first of all, it's 9, and that's when I have stuff I need to do the next day, or during the weekday. It's usually a 9:00 cutoff. But
One of the
I stick
strangest
to-
things
I
right
stick
there.
to little bowls and bubblers. I've retired from the bowling game.
Dude, no, tell us about that. What's your philosophy on smoking at after 7?
Oh, I mean, every person is different, and for me, my mind's like a freaking monkey with a chime. Like if I'm trying to go to bed, I can't. Like I'm just thinking. Like the other day, I was trying to go to bed, and I found myself up with a tape measure, thinking how I could rearrange my room. Like what the fuck am I doing? Like
I didn't know where you were going with tape measure and then by yourself, and then you're like in my room. I was like,
No,
okay,
I'm like
well.
measuring where the bunk bed goes, and it's like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm like, why am I doing this? So it's like if I need to go to bed, I know myself. My mind just will not settle. I'm so jealous of the people in the world who can just smoke and pass out. I can't do it.
I wish. You got to give me a lot of milligrams to be able to do that.
Yeah,
so.
but I just can't do it.
Yeah, you
So,
got to be talking edibles. It takes
It's a blessing
lot.
and a curse because I like being able to be active sometimes, and that's helpful. But again, I can't. If I'm sober high, I can't fall asleep. It's the worst. Just sitting there.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of crazy shit that happens at night, though. Like us on the boat at night. For those listeners out there,
We haven't done that in a while. I mean,
you haven't.
that's one of my favorite things.
We have been recently.
Oh, you have?
Scott's been taking us quite a bit the last couple
Scott.
Shout out
months.
to
Yeah,
Scott. I
Scott
gotta give
Cormier.
Scott.
Scotty.
Shout out.
Yeah, where's
Yeah.
Scott? Every time I
Definitely
see
worth
Scott,
it. Dude,
he brings cigarellos over. So.
No, he brings us
Swisher
Swisher
Sweets.
Oh,
Sweets.
Swisher
baby.
Sweets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, aren't they called cigarellos?
talk.
Those little
Dude,
We
tiny
gotta make
things?
we gotta make sure we have a
They are
pack for him.
cigarillos. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Best-
we get a pack for him, and we'll lure him.
Then a
on.
case
Yeah.
of Bud Lights, my guy, with twist tops. That's his thing.
Yeah, he's a big aluminum can Bud
Bro,
Light
he was
twist
so
top
pumped
guy.
when the prices dropped. He was so pumped.
Yeah, he is like. I think he's brilliant because now that nobody's drinking Bud Light for whatever reason, it's not because the formula changed.
Yeah.
He's scooping up all the discount Bud Lights in their special cans and drinking them.
He probably has like over 100 beers stacked away just because how cheap it is.
He probably just pours like 4
Bro,
in his
man.
Yeti and gets them going
Yeah.
around the lake while someone else is driving.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just
Or duels when
Or O'Doul.
if he's driving the
thing.
boat or duels.
or
O'Doul's.
Heineken Zeros.
That's a hard-working man, though. He's
Yeah.
always doing some shit, dude.
Hard
Yep.
ass worker
Yep,
for
yep,
sure.
yep.
Typical Mainer. Hard
Agreed.
fucking worker.
He's doing like
Yep.
his own job, and then he's also fixing up the house over there from that tree that went through.
Yep. I say that's another great thing about Maine is people are always willing to help other people. That's like in Mass, if you have an issue, people are like, "Fuck you, that's not my problem," and just walk down by. Whereas if there's a problem you have to deal with, your neighbors come and help. That's another great thing about it.
100%.
Yeah.
Like if I got stuck on the side of the road, you're guaranteed a Mainer will help you.
Yeah.
But if I'm in any other state, like I'm scared for my goddamn life. I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
I think it's like Jeff Foxworthy who famously said, you're like in Maine if you're at a Home Depot and someone's trying to like show you the right tools and they don't even fucking work there. And that's like so typical.
I always think
Mainer.
of Parks and Rec with Ron Swanson when he's just like, "You need any help?" He goes, "I know more than you."
Such a great show.
I know more than you.
Classic.
Yeah,
That's a
great
good
show, great show.
Oh, we
Fighting,
gotta-
you fighting it back? You fighting back the shout out? No, we ain't shouting
No,
that
no,
out.
only I can shout out. You guys can shout out, if it feeds off of it.
But yeah, no, I love hanging out with that guy, but he's brought us out. But no, we've been out there a couple times out in the lake
Okay.
where it's just like full moon.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
we're supposed to have a meteor shower soon. I think I want to say it's like the 13th or 14th of August.
We had the super moon the other
And
night.
we have a super moon.
No, we had that already. We had one that was.
we have another one at
oh,
the
we have
end of
another one.
August. It's
Oh.
the first time we're gonna have 2 super moons in
the
a
same
month. In
Yeah.
I don't even.
And it's
know
not gonna
how long.
happen like for another like 50 years or some shit.
Yeah.
Dude, it was Ruski over
Drops
here.
McGee.
Bro,
That's
stop
the second
things
time.
in.
Two
Should we put a
fumbles.
drops count on this?
Oh,
this
if he gets
corner?
3, like
What happens if I get a third fumble?
you gotta rock a mustache in the next
You
cast.
got a shotgun and no duels.
Oh, shotgun duels.
Shotgun and no duels.
Because
That's
just-
a punishment.
Yeah,
like, just
because you don't
drinking.
get anything out of that.
Oh man,
I will shotgun and no duels if I make another fumble. In the cast.
he's like, yo, I'm just gonna tumble it
This
anyways.
episode. This episode.
Too funny.
Well,
We all have our fumbles and our moments, you know.
Yep.
what do you think's overrated or underrated about Maine? Do you think there's anything overrated or underrated
Well,
about
we'll
Maine?
start with that. Like, you think lobsters overrated or underrated? A lot of hype.
We gotta ask you since we asked our Maryland boy. I want to hear from.
Yeah,
Matt,
I mean,
so.
like, I love lobster. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't really want to say it's overrated, but it almost is because of the hype. Like, it's fantastic. I love the food. But it's like anytime you go anywhere, it's market price. It's a lobster roll that comes in a hot dog bun is $35, $40. And the Cape Cod, sometimes it's $55, $65 for a tiny little lobster roll.
They got you. Those are
So-
Massachusetts.
So
crap.
that's where I'm saying it's overhyped in the sense that, people come to the Cape Cod or whatever or Maine for the summer and they want lobster, and so businesses take advantage of you. Now, I'm not saying that the price that they buy it from the boats isn't increasing. Their cost could be increasing as well.
always.
But I think it's just bullshit, the hype, of how much you actually have to pay for a lobster roll and how little of food you get.
Because you're an outsider. Yeah, if you're a
Yeah.
local guy, you know where to get your lobster.
You ain't
Correct.
paying $35 a roll if you're an insider, unless you're like.
But
really
the
somewhere nice.
taste of lobster and the like seafood and the whole experience of doing it in the summer and the bake, like that's fantastic. That's not overrated at all.
Would you say like appropriately rated?
I think so. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's under or over. I mean, I'm leaning a little in the over just because the bullshit, the people that can take advantage of it. But I think it's fantastic food.
What's another one? What's
See,
another?
I can't go a summer without eating lobster.
Oh yeah, remember you used to do lobster races and everything like that.
Yeah, that came from my grandfather.
Lobster yoga.
I have no idea why, but he decided it was a good idea to take our food before we ate it and put it on the ground outside and have them race.
Yeah, they're
They're
cockroaches
gonna get cooked anyways.
I know. They're getting boiled off, but it's just comical the fact that we're just placing our I mean, it was on a deck. It's not like we're placing them on dirt, and they would race. I mean, they're pretty slow, but yeah, that was definitely a tradition we had to just race them.
Nothing like going up to Maine just to race some lobsters there, yeah.
Bro, or you could be like the other lobsters you did, you lobster yoga. You put
lobster yoga.
You had them.
Yeah,
you had them upside down.
Their fins. You just
Oh
do
yeah,
it
my
the
grandfather
same
would do that too.
They go to sleep.
He knew what he was
Do
doing.
yoga.
Yeah, you
You, like,
flip them
put 'em-
upside down and you put them on the table and they just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little
I
stone
I didn't learn that one from my grandpa.
You're just like, oh, let's do some yoga.
I've
Yeah.
had some
Yeah.
hairy moments in restaurants where like lobsters, like someone doesn't want to handle it, so they get handed a lobster, they take the bands off and they freak out and it like starts crawling around and shit. Like,
What? Like
yeah.
order like a live lobster?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
when you go to restaurants, they have live
yeah.
lobsters.
So, like,
Yeah,
what
well, I
happens-
understand that, but they're not putting a live lobster on their plate.
No, I'm saying what happens is if you're in a kitchen working at a restaurant in Maine and someone says, "Yo, I'll have a lobster or 2 lobsters," so one of the usually the busboy
Yeah.
will go out to the lobster tank and
I
he'll
see
take
what
the
you're
claw,
saying.
grab 2, and then he hands it to someone who's gonna either throw it in a pot of boiling water, throw it in a steamer, however you go about it. But sometimes we would like many places in Maine because everything's so seasonal. You like to hire a lot of the high school people who are now just able to work, and you hand them a lobster for the first time, and you're like, "Yo, take the bands off." They freak out, and when you freak out,
Well, you can cook them with the bands on. You don't have to take the bands off.
it makes them taste like rubber. It makes
Really?
the claw meat taste specifically like rubber. Yeah, and
You know, I was just thinking. I've never gone to a store and bought and eaten like actual live lobster. I always eat lobster at home, like the shell you boil and crack.
Yeah.
And whenever I go out, I always get lobster rolls. I've never gone out and bought where, like you're just saying, the guy that goes in and gets from the tank. Never done that.
Fucking phenomenal.
I'm sure it is. I'm just making the
fresh
recollection
as
that
shit, dude.
whenever I go out, it's always a lobster roll. It's never an actual lobster.
Usually, you get like a platter with like some coleslaw, either cornbread or a corn muffin.
Oh well, cornbread, yeah, corn.
Um,
I mean, it's August right now in Maine.
you can
Corn
add
is in
the
session.
steamers.
I'm pretty excited to have some
Steamers,
Oh,
corn.
bro.
Yeah.
You can get boiled potatoes in
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love me some corn on the cob,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, it's
Holy shit.
fantastic.
Some corn on the cob's
Yeah.
fantastic. I love it grilled right in the husk too. That's one simple thing we've done on the grill before. Just soak the corn in water, just let it go on the grill on low, and just kind of let it steam inside its own husk.
Oh yeah, steam it out. Yep.
I think we did that on your grill one time.
Yep.
It's an old trick I like to use. Old native man showed me that one time. Just shout out to him.
You want to talk more about that?
No, I don't. I got nothing more.
An
to
old
add.
native
He's
man.
like, I don't know.
I
I don't know if I want to dive
some
into this.
memories that maybe scarred you for life on
No,
that
he was
one.
like native to Maine or something. I don't know
Okay.
what he was native to. He was probably the native son. I don't know.
All right.
Well, my Uncle
All right.
Gary used to put native. He's a native of America. And he said Native American. He's like, yeah, I'm native of America. So I was like, well,
That checks out.
dude, that's what he did. I was
That
like,
checks
well,
out.
R.I.P. though. So
All right.
can't be checking the box anymore.
Some
Yeah.
people think we're Canadians up here, and we do have a lot of Canadians listening to us. So thank you for listening. But no, we are not Canadian.
Do you think
I mean,
we
pretty
talk
close.
funny? Do you think we talk different up in Maine?
Does Maine talk different than Mass?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I
Well,
don't-
you hang out with people that like are next door. Like,
Yeah, but I don't pick up on that in Maine.
no.
No. I mean, obviously
you don't go out too much though.
You have the
when you're here.
You get
true.
wickeds in Mass, don't you?
Yeah. You get a lot of Boston accents being obviously in Boston. But I mean, I grew up 45 minutes north of Boston. I grew up in the North Shore. So, I mean, my dad was in Revere. My dad had a Boston accent. He kind of got rid of it because my mom hated it and just pounded it out of him. Like every time he did anything, she was like, "It's R, it's shower." So,
Shower.
he has a little bit because of Revere, but that's about it.
That's wild.
Yep.
Just pounded the accent right out of him.
Yeah, just yell at him every time
mom?
he did it wrong.
Nowadays,
Yeah, my
that's
mother.
probably
Oh my
hate.
gosh.
I grew up with a very strict mother.
Bro,
I love her to death.
your mom and my mom are like two different people.
Yep.
And they're both Debbies, which
Yep.
is always hilarious.
Yep.
When people are like, "Yo, who's your mom?" I'm like, "Well, who do you think whose mom is whose?"
Yeah.
I think he was talking about that on episode 2 once.
Yeah.
I say I don't know if growing up, I mean, the amount of sugar and soda and candy that got smuggled from this house to that house, I don't think I would have survived.
Straight bootlegging shit.
Yeah, I don't
fucking-
think I would have survived summers without getting the candy from
fucking
the
straight. Dude, I literally bring over bags of like Laffy Taffies, like those big fucking Slim Jim
I remember
ones.
that. And
Oh,
that was almost the third drop.
Oh man,
Oh,
damn!
it'll happen. It'll happen.
Just keep
I
it going.
felt that
It'll
one
happen.
coming through.
Nerd rope. I
Oh,
remember
the nerd ropes were good.
rope was
I'd always
good.
have a giant thing of Dr. Pepper. That was
Yep,
my weakness.
yep,
Or
yep.
and was it AW or
Oh, the A&W root beer can.
Oh.
Yeah, that was good.
well, not the
Fire.
candies, just the actual root beer, or was that mug we got?
Oh, you're talking about
I don't remember the actual
Dude,
brand.
but yeah, no, it would be funny because your mom would be like out on the deck, be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
With the
Yeah,
binoculars
my
going.
parents and their binoculars. Oh my god!
Looking like
Our neighbor
Disturbia.
across the cove had to install freaking curtains because my sister and a bunch of friends would always go over there and hang out, and they'd always be like, "What are they doing over there?"
Talking about Tony.
Yeah, Tony.
Tony's a character.
We
love
gotta
that
get
guy.
him out here on the
Yep,
cast. He's been
yep.
talking about it. He's been doing a lot of work too.
Yeah, I think he has about 8 or 9 properties now. He's crushing it. I would love to eventually get my first one. I feel like I gotta, get the
Get out of your belt.
ball rolling downhill. But
Yeah.
I had to get the job first, which
Yeah.
is as official as of last week. I want to say.
Congratulations.
So that's exciting.
After
Yep.
the, unemployment.
Yep. I mean,
So
I've been off the unemployment since January, but it feels good. I'm excited because I've been in sales my whole life, right? Sales for about 8 years. Sales is an absolute fucking grind. It takes something out of you, and it's frontline sales. I mean, obviously all sales is tricky in itself, but frontline sales is tough because you're grinding away. You're dealing with people, that you're trying to meet and trying to be their best friends right away because you want to make a sale quickly, but you obviously don't want, to come off as an asshole or someone that's trying to help yourself versus trying to help them. And that's the big thing in sales is the whole idea how to be a good salesperson is to help that person, listen to what their needs are, dig deeper into what their problems are, and don't give a shit about yourself, right? Yourself comes second because you're just here to help them. And so the problem with frontline sales is, sometimes that lands and sometimes that doesn't. And so, this new role I'm in customer success, it's more of handling clients. It's handling people that have already bought the product. So they, got 2 feet in the door. And it's building those relationships. It's actually working with someone and truly letting them know you care about them and you're there to help them versus I'm just trying to make a quick sale. So there's obviously a little bit upsell and growing the accounts, but what I'm most excited about is that I get to actually work with people that want to work with me and not just dealing with people that are, maybe going to buy or they're just, working with me to drop the price of a competitor and then they ghost me and I don't hit my number.
Right, just playing leverage.
Fucking
Right.
hate getting ghosted, guy.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely hate it.
So, but I'm excited. Yeah. So the second part is after that, my next move is I want to buy like a 2-family or 3-family.
Nice.
And Tony's done a really good job of like kind of mentoring me a little bit and learning the way. I mean, I went and visited him. He gave me a walkthrough of like 4 of his places. I had conversations with his contractors, just talking. And like the main thing I picked out of that, I mean, there's a lot of things. Actually, there's 2 things. One, water is your worst enemy, as you know, because there's a
water,
pump
you
going
know.
in his basement right now.
So
So-
we're in Studio C.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not about to sit in that downstairs basement inhaling mold for this.
Yeah, it's no mold down there, just for the listeners.
All right, I didn't mean mold, but it's damp. It's
damp.
a basement.
It's a work in progress.
Got
Yeah.
a bunch of fans in there.
Shout out to everyone that helped clean up that basement today.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Shout out that pump we got. That thing's working overtime.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, this kid I was using a tiny shop vac, and I'm like, this is gonna take hours because the water table's high. It's not like we're just getting rid of us. I was like, I'm going to buy a pump. I ain't doing this.
Yeah, that was it was kind of a bitch because it was my workout for the day. You'd pump it. You're like, all right, you're carrying this heavy ass shit out the wall.
Yeah,
out the
well,
door.
I just didn't. I had a freaking shop vac that was this big that we used to
Size
clean
of a
the
purse.
boats. Yeah, to clean the boats.
Fucking
And every
clutch.
30 seconds it would fill
Size
up, and I have to
Gucci.
dunk it into a tank. It was not worth it.
That was bro. Like a thing filled halfway. I appreciate it, so I take it. It's better than me just like grabbing towels and being
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
fucking.
But the point I was getting at is the two main things are, like your basement, your basement. Like you want to redo your basement. If it's stone, mason, like seal that shit up. Like a lot of times the houses you buy are older. The basement's all cracked. You got water coming in from the outside. The first thing when you start building it out or moving into a house, all your stuff, eventually your basement fills up with crap. But when you first move into a house, one of the first things you want to do, and I did it with my sister's house in Framingham, as kind of as practice. We ripped out the entire, like not the entire thing, but you rip out all the loose gravel, clear it all out, then you fill it back in with gravel and cement and seal it all up, and then you paint it with a water sealant. I mean, it takes a while. I mean, it took us, I don't know, 3 months. I was the hired help, right? They lived in the house. They did more of the work, but I was able to kind of just help out when I could. The helping hand, exactly. That was a good project to do to learn it. And then the second thing is just to be overly nice with the people you work with. So like the contractors, like
100%.
like you want to be in good favor with, electricians, plumbers. Like the one thing I picked up on when we were having a conversation with one of his contractors was, the conversation was over in like 15 minutes, but we hung out and talked and just shot the shit and just discussed, trade stuff for I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes total. And so Tony was saying that goes a long way. Like, don't just have the conversation with someone who you're working with just to have the conversation and get done what you need to get done. Like, get to know these people. I mean, it kind of seems obvious, but in a sense, but if you're just come off as this guy who's, always busy and, doesn't have time to ask this guy how he's doing, it's just in that business where you need that side help, that hired contractors, like I said, the plumbers, that stuff. It just goes a long way into just expanding those relationships and building those relationships as you buy more and more houses.
I definitely had to learn that during my process with the fire at the house.
Yeah.
You had to do with the electrician.
Yeah, so this kid's had 2 floods and a fire, a dryer, 3 floods.
3 floods this year, guy.
3 floods.
We've had the new expansion of the house for 12 fucking years and had 0 floods, and then this year we had 3.
Well, now you have a sub pump it's not even a sub pump, it's a service pump, but now you have a pump that's actually going to work.
Yeah.
So hopefully you should be good to go.
It, but if you
do, well, he's gonna need to use it. I mean, the way the basement's constructed, the hill that comes down, you're gonna get water in that basement no matter what.
But things you gotta do, dude. It's better. Remember the one time when the fucking boat sank?
This guy's boat has been
greatest boat ever.
Shit show for the past 15 years. I mean, I remember the first time I looked over on your dock and your boat was like this. The whole back end, the ass of the boat was sunk under the water. So I bailed it. I mean, I think I've bailed your boat.
I wasn't up here at the time. I was back in Arizona.
Yeah, correct. This is a very long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I've bailed your boat more times than I can count. More than my boat.
Shout out to that guy.
But my favorite one, they have a crank that cranks up the boat. And my favorite one was... my cousin and I were just hanging out in our room, and this is like 10 o'clock at night. And my dad comes in and goes, "Hey, you got to help Brandon, the Drotters. They lost their boat." And I'm like, "Come again? What? They lost? What do you mean they lost their boat?" He's like, "They lost it." I'm like, "What does that mean?
Where'd it go?"
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? And he was like, all right, I eventually came over and I found out they forgot to crank it up. So the boat just floated back out there.
No plug.
No, it had a plug in it, thankfully. It didn't sink. But someone could have. That would have been a massive liability. If someone hit that, someone would have died. So we went out there and we found it in the middle of the cove, or not cove, it was in the middle of the lake, just floating out there with no lights. We found it with a spotlight and we towed it back in.
A lot of crazy times.
So that was pretty comical.
Jesus.
The other one was when we had it was fucking downpouring rain, and you guys were doing it during the rain and just doing it in buckets. And I get a video from back home.
Yeah, that was another time we bailed your boat.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. to that boat.
The Smoker Craft.
Yeah, the Smoker
ever,
Craft.
guy. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that was a cool boat.
Definitely was.
I remember your family would always do like whatever they wanted. You guys went on a boat ride. You went on boat rides. You would go around the entire lake. We'd go all the way down to the end for ice cream. It wasn't just like, hey, let's go out for a whip. It's like we're going the whole way of the lake. It was so much fun.
How long is too long on a boat ride?
Never.
I think it
That's
depends on the
incorrect.
conditions. I think it depends on the weather, the temperature.
Company.
Like
Your
your company, yes.
Like with the in-laws, how long is too long?
I don't know, man. I mean, it really like it's just all about like I don't know. You got to go to the bathroom. Like, no,
It's
actually,
like, yo, if they listen to this cast, I don't want them to know like my real thoughts.
no. I actually had the in-laws. Well, not in-laws because
Oh.
it's my girlfriend, but my girlfriend's family up last weekend or 2 weekends ago. We had an absolute
it was
blast.
It was an absolute crazy.
Yeah, we had an
time.
absolute blast. But it just well, we went over to the outpost, or it's not the outpost anymore. It's Pears. To get gas because my gas gauge doesn't work and they didn't have gas. So, and not only that, we pulled up.
Someone call the Arabs.
There was a boat. It was a boat parked where the gas dock was. So I had to park a boat. I had to walk up, ask them to move that boat. They moved the boat. I propped my boat all the way over. The guy got the thing out. We put it in the boat. I'm standing there and he goes, "Oh wait, I think we're out of gas." And I'm like,
Oh my!
"You could have told me that 15 minutes ago." But anyways, the point I'm getting at is, I took her family out in the boat, and it was a little nerve-wracking seeing a blinking bar for the gas. And I was like, and we had the babies with us. They're like 8 months old. So I was like, if we get stuck out here with the whole family in this boat for the first boat ride ever, like I'm gonna look like an asshole. So we went out for like 20 minutes, and we came back.
Safe than sorry.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, because I didn't want the boat to freaking run out of gas on us in the middle of the lake. That would suck.
Yeah, that would. But like, nothing bad about Paris, but like, don't you miss John and Jess in the old outpost?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job.
Did they? Great stories too.
Yeah.
You can't even think about it.
No, I mean I'm just thinking of one where he
Was it the phone one?
Yeah, he was over our house. Oh, he was at the fire over there. We shout out to them because there's another one.
Yeah, John and Jess,
we
great
ran out
people.
of alcohol one day and we drove over the boat over at like 9:30 and 10 o'clock at night,
Was it
and
a
they were
Fireball night?
closed. It might have been, and they opened up the store. They sold us a handle of vodka, and then I said, "You want to come over and party?" And it was a great time. But John got a little too drunk, and when I dropped him off, his momentum, like there's the floating docks that are like 4 feet wide, and he just walked out of my boat onto the dock and then into the water. Like he didn't even stop. He just like he was walking like down a path. He just boat, dock, straight into the water, splash, lost his phone. So that one was
That was that
pretty
time, and there was
funny.
another time when he jumped off. So there was another time we dropped him off, and he went to go jump off. He thought he was close enough. He, instead for like just waiting till we got closer, he tried jumping, and he fucking missed it, and he just threw his phone up in the air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, my phone!"
Yeah,
and
just
threw it up in the
tossed
air,
it.
and it just went
Yeah.
straight up, and then right in the fucking water.
Yeah, it didn't get anywhere
save
safe.
it?
No,
Oh,
it didn't
no.
get anywhere safe. I forgot about that one. That was
Oh,
pretty
dude,
funny
but
too.
they were always like a wild time. They were
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
They were great owners too.
Yep. And
They
I'm
love-
not saying that
Nothing wrong with. I just haven't been over
Bears
there.
aren't great owner. I think they're doing a good job. I just do feel like when I go there, there's just something happening.
Something's missing.
Something's missing. Something's not there. Something's
They got the plane
No.
rides though. That's wicked
well,
cool.
that plane's not there anymore.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they don't have it.
No.
Like what I just talked about, where they ran out of gas and like. But I mean, I asked her later, and she said that the guy they signed a contract with that said he was going to deliver gas on a weekly basis is not following through with his contract.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
it's not all. It doesn't seem like it's all their fault.
That's why you always got to be nice to the other people.
Yeah,
you said
exactly.
earlier. That brings us back to things
like
that.
I didn't call them out on it. I wasn't an asshole about it, and then I find out that it's not their fault. So, but I mean that's not.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. I love that place.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, that place is so clutch though. Like, especially back in the day when I was a kid and I couldn't buy O'Doul's myself. I'd go over there and get O'Doul's and go out on the boat, and then we dropped the empties off after before we got home.
yeah, and the parents are
go.
looking though across the lake. Yo, they have to
the
do
binoculars.
the
The binoculars get you across the cove. They don't get you across the lake. You can't see what you're doing over there.
I remember it's like, do I smell like alcohol? Am I good? Am I too high to be at the dinner table? A lot of crazy times, and then the rope swings and.
Yeah, I would say Sam and Gus were the ones that really put those up. It's
I didn't
crazy.
see the new ones.
I don't know about this year. I haven't been on any this year.
Crazy.
Is it the one on Squirrel Island still?
Yeah.
Oh, we went to that one last year. The one that there was there's basically like a death rock and 5 feet out in the water that if you slip, you can basically die. So that is a sweet rope swing, but that's the only one that gives me the heebie-jeebies because if you fuck up, you hit a rock that's like this much water over the surface of it, and it's massive. It's bigger than this table, and it's 5 feet out from the water. So if you're going and you fall, you're hitting that rock.
I like the other spot we had, like across the...
That spot is epic.
Bro.
That's the OG spot they put up.
Yeah, but then
and
it fucking collapsed under me. And I hit the fucking tree.
Oh, and you went down, hit the tree, and spun around and fell in the water.
Yeah, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? And no one realized.
I thought you just didn't know how to use a
dude,
rope
there's like
swing.
10 people in the boat, and they're all like, bro, what are you doing, man? And then one person's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Look up top. When I went to Joe.
My buddy has a scar from that rope swing. The rope that you use to pull it back.
Oh, was it his ankle?
Yeah, he fell down, and it hit his leg and ankle.
I have that video.
He has a cut.
When it tightened up under the water.
Yeah. He has a scar there.
Red Dead style or something.
Dude, this shit, that's no joke.
Surprisingly, this place hasn't given me any scars yet. I mean, I only really have 2, nothing crazy.
Knocking on wood for you.
Knock on wood on that one.
I looked down. I was
Actually,
like,
that's not true. That's not true. I split my thumb open trying to open frozen hamburgers. Instead of using a butter knife, I used a steak knife because I was drunk and. Once I got through the burger, I was having so much force that now there was nothing holding it back, and I just kept going. And there's a scar right there. I sliced open my whole thumb.
Couple O'Doul's.
Yeah, a couple of duels. Yeah. Nothing crazy. But yeah, that one didn't stop bleeding for a while. So my drunk assness decided it was a smart idea to cauterize it. And I have to say, I get a lot of flack for it, but it did stop it from bleeding because it swelled it up. It swelled this area up to the point where it kind of closed it and it stopped bleeding.
What'd you use? Did you use lighter? Did you use the hot knife?
I used a paint scraper. That I don't know why. Was that a voice crack there? I used a paint scraper that was next to the grill, and I just put it in the fire for 10 minutes, and I just took it out, and I just put my thumb on it. Now, in reality, if you would do that correctly, you're supposed to take it and put it into the cut because I needed to burn inside, but I just burned the top, so this swelled up and it closed it. But reality, you need to put the burn on where the actual cut is, not this top surface. So I had a little Bear Grylls moment. My friend's
little survivor moment.
Yeah, I was in survival mode because it was no joke, an hour. This thing wasn't stop bleeding, and I get a lot of flack for it now, but I don't give a shit. I got tough skin. It's a funny story.
Do you think you could survive Survivor? Be number 1?
I mean, I do have a lot of outdoor skills, but I don't really have a desire to go on Survivor. That just doesn't look like fun to me.
What about Alone? Have you seen that one?
That one I actually do watch. That one is kind of interesting. Again, that one is the mental battle. That one is
oh, dude, there's some people that go deep in that shit.
I mean, as long as the thing is though, is I don't have a ton of hunting skills. I never.
There
it is.
Damn, my
we'll
guy.
get you a duels next time. I think it's over in my show.
Definitely, we'll put that in the
on
the outro for you. All the listeners out there.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of hunting skills. I shouldn't say I don't have hunting skills. I mean, I fish, but I can catch fish with a net swimming. But
can you catch them with your hand though?
Yeah, I've caught one.
We're one for one.
Now I think it was an older fish, and it wasn't swimming very fast, but it still counts. I came down there with a thumb and just snagged it. And then when I put it back in the water, it was like belly up, and I'm like, oh great, I killed it. So then I kind of like put the gills through the water, and then after that it swam away. So I think I saved the fish.
Curtis is a 100% catch and release
fish
man,
saver.
to be completely honest.
But when it comes to like bow and arrows or guns, when it comes to hunting, I've never.
Not
done
your
that.
cup of tea.
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it. I've just never done it.
Well,
so,
I'm getting my bow license this year.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, crossbow.
Okay.
So
Nice.
get your license and
Yeah.
you can do it all online. I was told to.
Really?
All online. Yep. My cousin Megan told me about that. But you know, like Megan and Lauren, they're crazy at like hunting. They go fishing all the time. I know a girl that can fish better than Megan. Honestly,
That's true. Yeah, she's a pretty good fisher.
I say
Fisherman.
my
Fisherwoman.
last question for you today, as we kind of wrap things up. What advice would you give someone from Massachusetts who has not been to Maine, who would be coming to Maine?
Advice coming to Maine.
just from Mass or just like anyone?
I mean, in general.
From Mass.
From Mass.
There's plenty of Dunkin' Donuts up here. Don't worry.
Yeah, relax. That's just enjoy it. You're coming up here for the point of trying to unwind.
Get away.
So yeah, you're getting away. Yeah.
It's so
just
funny.
don't be an asshole.
It's funny seeing those people like, yo, I come up here to get away, and they're just like on their phone the whole fucking time.
You heard it here. Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole, or
be nice to your neighbors. Enjoy the Mother Nature, the scenery, the animals, the water.
the sights, the views,
This lake
the
is
smells.
fantastic.
For sure.
A lot of lakes in Maine are ponds, lakes, rivers. I think Saco's in Maine. Yeah, Saco's in Maine too.
Yeah.
It goes
Oh,
to New
yeah.
Hampshire
Oh, yeah.
and Maine.
Yeah, Saco River for sure.
There's a lot of outdoor activities. Take advantage of as many outdoor activities as you possibly can.
Amen.
You
Any
get-
final questions for Curtis?
Yeah, I'll give you one last question.
Okay.
What is like one of the most cherishable moments you have of Maine?
Sure. I mean, there's so fucking many.
Like, is there anything that like really like hits you home to let the listeners know like why Maine's so special to you? Didn't mean to like hit the heartstrings there.
No, I'm just trying to think.
This is your chance for the Emmy monologue.
I mean, like, there's one time I wrote about like my college essay about taking my grandfather on a boat ride because he was starting to lose it with Parkinson's, and it was the scariest but also like most fun boat ride I've ever been on because my grandfather was like a buddy and just was like dicking around, and I was still young and I like didn't understand. Like he was breaking all the rules. I'm like, what the fuck's happening right now? He was like weaving in and out of like more boats and shit. And I'm like, what, like full speed? I'm like, what are you doing? That was pretty comical.
Pop up, right?
Yeah, pop up. Let's see. I mean, just like, getting into college. I mean, it's not Maine in general, but just like once I hit college, we were allowed to just kind of do whatever up here. And the freedom of taking the boats out, any time we wanted, was really nice. I think it's just the freedom, the peacefulness. I mean, I know I've already said that, but just how surreal it is. You can go out there and just sit and just listen. I mean, there's freaking eagles flying around everywhere.
Yeah.
There's loon, like the loon noise is so relaxing.
At night, yeah.
At night. The campfires, just kind of coming into the college and having this place is just like I don't want to say a party playground, but it kind of was.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
had its phases.
Yeah, it's definitely had its phases. So it's just, I don't know, it's just such a special place to me. And I think it's, the fact that I can't be here year round, like kind of like,
makes it very special.
It just makes it like it's like a give and take. Like you take it away from you and then you miss it and then you come back and you love it. Kind of like a long distance relationship. It's kind of nice.
I love it. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on here. This was fun.
Do you have any questions for us?
7. Do you have any questions for the cooked lobsters that you maybe cooked up?
I mean, what got you into podcasting? Like, why even? It's kind of funny. I mean, I feel like this came out of the blue. So I'm curious, like, okay, whose idea was it? Who
Well, it's been
was
both
the
of ours
first
for a
one
long
to think
time.
of this idea?
I feel like this idea has floated around for many years. We used to do like trimming together, and you'd be in the same room for like, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Bro,
Just-
with this, let me tell you, this trimming room we had,
it's like sweatshop.
fucking 50 degrees, like legitimately 50 degrees,
It's cold.
no lights,
Fucking cold.
green lights.
Green
Right,
lights
you have to have a
only.
certain light for the weed, right?
Yeah, but you don't have to fucking do that for 8 hours, guy. Like, I'm
Yeah.
trimming weed. You're trying to get the shit in and out. I'm trying to be
I've
comfortable.
seen you trim before. That is such a tedious job.
Bro, I look
can't
like
do
I'm
that.
fucking ready for winter.
I know, I
look like an
can't do that.
Eskimo in a box, and like I walk into the next room, it's 90 degrees.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this has been floating around for a while. It was featured on another podcast way back when. I've talked about that before. But no, just kind of organically happened. Trying to do a good service.
Okay.
Bring out some of Maine's finest people and businesses.
I think it's kind of cool. I feel like I'll look back on this video in 20 years and
Need
just
some lobster water?
kind of laugh about it.
I'm gonna lobster.
But it's kind of cool to document stuff around here. I do kind of wish. I say one thing I did wish I did. I mean, maybe good or bad, but is just put a GoPro like up in a tree, like when I was first in high school and college, and
How
just like
reckless
it
you
just
are.
but just getting like a time loop of just like everything that happened like would be so cool, like a fly in a wall of just like seeing all this shit that went down, good and bad, but it just would be kind of funny.
You gotta have one in your camp though. Like you have the one you drew. You literally check out. This is
Oh.
really cool, dude. Like,
Well,
have you
yeah,
seen the painting?
that's a picture of the camp I drew, but I'm talking like a video.
I know
of,
that.
like
Well, I know.
Shenanigans and
Oh, dude,
just like the fun
if
stuff.
you really want to see Shenanigans, I got a bunch of shit on my computer.
Okay, all right,
So-
we'll check that out later.
That's for like another
We-
time.
we
That's
don't-
when you have
Yeah.
a couple of duels,
We
but yeah.
don't want to know what's on there.
That's actually a
Fuck
very
you.
good point.
No
Fuck
amount,
off, yeah.
yeah,
no amount of
no,
duels
no,
is gonna
no,
beat
no,
that,
no.
okay?
Oh, you guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
But
On that note, thank you again, Curtis. We appreciate you. And
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
This has been great. This has been our interviews in the kitchen.
Word
yeah, we always get cracking.
and cut.
Stay cracking.
Stay cracking.
Hey.
And welcome back to the Cooked Lobsters of episode 7. Wow, that was a hot cast we had going on today. What do you think, my guy?
Lot was said, lot was learned. Just like a lot of these casts, had an amazing time out there with Curtis, chilling in our secondary studio. We got our studio fixed down here now. So it's good to see a nice little rebound, but fantastic episode. Curtis had a lot, the egg glue he showed us.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool.
I couldn't imagine just like what made them pop up with that shit. Like doing that in college, it's like legendary moments. But like talking about legendary moments, him going on ridiculousness almost was
Almost.
freaking nuts, dude. I think that shit's crazy.
Yeah, he asked for too much.
Yes.
He asked for a lot out of ridiculousness. Now he was demanding, that they fly him out for a couple days and a lot, but
But it's better because he got a way better opportunity with his buds on the Cooked Lobsters.
that's
And
what I'm talking about.
he gets to see you officially shotgun and O'Doul's because unfortunately you had fumble fingers today.
Yeah, I had some popcorn before the cast. That's what did it. Had a little bit too much popcorn and the butter on my fingers. Kept dropping my phone. Before I shotgun this O'Doul's, I just want to thank everyone. Listen across Spotify, following us on Instagram, checking out our Facebook page. We appreciate all the love and support. And that's it for me. And just Suzette daughter before I shotgun the O'Doul's, I shotgun the O'Doul's. What do you have to say to the good people?
Oh, I always love saying thank you to the listeners out there always listening to us. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Nothing makes me happier just knowing that there's always people out there. And now what you can listen to is our head chef slamming this beer. Oh, man, look at this guy. The next Tank Abbott. Crushing beers. Oh, my.
What you got?
Definitely
Who
drinking.
says I don't got it still?
Definitely. Woohoo.
That was no O'Doul's, was it?
Definitely you never know. The label don't lie.
The label don't
Just like in
lie.
bench warmers, I am 12. If it says it on the label, it doesn't lie.
It's said non-alcoholic beer, but I feel a little tipsy.
Well, right to the point. And other than that, well, thank you for out there listening to us. But unfortunately, we got to go take naps. You know, it's that kind of day.
Yeah, we're looking to do some naked naps out there on the dock. So if y'all are out there on Thompson Lake, come check out our package.
I know. And unfortunately, we're going to be looking like two lobsters. Wait, what?
Y'all stay drinking.